team is looking for their identity to find out what it is and grab onto it. But I like the way that Montgomery's performed here recently. Let's talk about Colorado. They're off to a great
What's going on, everybody? John here with you. I'm not sure if I'm going to have Cooper Hopkins here today because I don't know if we can get the broadcast on both sides, but maybe we'll see what happens for the first period side of it. That's what he's let me know so far. So, head coached by Dave Hakstol, it's the Seattle Kraken. They're 4-6-3 on the season. They're fifth in the Pacific. It sounds like this: Matty Beniers, Jaden McCann, Colton Yamamoto, Vince Dunn, and Adam Larsson. Alex Wenberg, Jaden Schwartz, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Jimmy Alexiak, and Will Borgen. Yanni Gourde, Tolvanen, Ty Kartye with Brian Dumoulin, and Justin Schultz. And on the fourth line side, it's going to sound a little bit different. A pair of 19 and 20-year-olds. Ryan Winterton is going to make his debut with the Seattle Kraken alongside Devin Shore and Shane Wright. So that should be a lot of fun. I believe Philip Grubauer is going to be the goalie of record tonight. And on the other side, head coached by Jared Bednar, the Colorado Avalanche. They've been pretty good this season. They're 8-3-0, first in the Central. It's Nathan MacKinnon, Artturi, Lehkonen, Mikko, Rantanen with Devin Taves and Cale, Makar. Ryan Johansen, Riley Tufte, Val Nichushkin, Bowen Byram, and Sam Girard. Ross Colton, Miles Wood, Logan O'Connor, Freddie Olofsson, Andrew Cogliano, and Tomas Tatar with Jack Johnson and Josh Manson. I believe it's going to be Alexander Georgiev in that today for the Colorado Avalanche. So things of note before we get going here. There's got to be a couple of wake-ups for the Seattle Kraken that sit 4-6-3 on the year. And again, I know I'm wearing the jersey, and I'm trying not to be the hometown guy. But Matty Beniers, 6 assists for 6 points, but he's a minus 12. They really need Matty Beniers to get going. They really need, on the other side, Philip Grubauer to get going. 2-5, 301 goals against, 902 save percentage. Joey Decord, 2-1-3, 286, 909 hasn't been all that bad. But there are some pieces that the Seattle Kraken need. Just the other day, Jordan Eberle, he got a deep cut during practice in the Lakeside, so he's out. So that's why Winterton's going to draw into the lineup. And for the Avalanche, we talked about the last 3 out of 5 before this. It was Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Vegas being outscored 15-0 on that side. The last game was a 6-3 victory over New Jersey. I kind of said this with Alec Nava. I felt like they were going to come out like a stick of dynamite, and they did. Got some nasty hits on Timo Meier and Luke Hughes. Thought they were trying to send a message. Were all those clean? Not quite sure on that side. But Colorado busted out a big way, scoring some goals. And I think the Avalanche are going to want to try to get the jump on today, considering this is an opponent they probably should beat. Not just talking about their second meeting of the season. They're going to get 4 of those pretty much done at the beginning of 2023 on this side, as we're still only November 9th. But this is a team that the Avalanche probably should beat, and I would expect them to continue to fire all systems go, just like they did against New Jersey the other day. So when we come back, we'll get into play-by-play and get started. Talk to you in a minute.
Wow, this new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear is so soft and so smooth. I'm starting to get carried away. Thank you, Mr. Smooth Bear. Designed with smooth tear edges, new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy perforations that tear so much better for a smooth,
Prosvetov.
Hey, Mom,
Grubauer.
I'm terrific. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
You know it's really scary. Not throwing up butter. No, he needed insurance. I mean, what if the driver gets meal alone and in the park? Hey, at State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Sorry. That's you know what, everybody? Let's go. Let's go. What's wrong? Yeah, I got my Amazon. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today. That looks really high. It is high.
Whenever you're ready. 36. Oh, short.
Here we go. It's time to push your limits.
So now the counter on the YouTube side is a little bit delayed here, but I don't think I see any problems with the streaming side. So once that goes through, it'll be okay. It looks like on the NHL side of the lineups, It's Ivan Prosvetov is going to be in goal. 2 games played, 1-0 record, 088 goals against, and a 970. Again, I think it's only been 40-something saves on that side combined within 2 games. So I don't really know a lot about Prosvetov, but I think he might be getting a start today. Philip Grubauer will be in net for the Kraken, still from what it seems like.
Second meeting of this season between the Avalanche and your Seattle Kraken, who fell at home to Colorado 4-1 back on October 17th. Nick and Tom, we welcome back to Kraken pregame. In case you may have missed it, got a situation with Jordan Everly game to game, day to day, due to a leg cut. Hopefully nothing too serious. And on the mend, we'll see him in short order. So a couple of rookies with opportunities. Let's start with the guy who we saw last season getting ready tonight, Nick, to play his 9th NHL game is Shane Wright.
And he found out that he was getting the call up when he was taking a pregame nap yesterday. But I'm sure it's a heck of a call to be able to receive for Shane Wright. 4 goals, 6 points in 7 games this season for the Coachella Valley Firebirds. All about confidence for him. I think he's earned some of it. Simple game. North, south, shoot the puck, play hard, and make sure you take care of the D zone. But it's great to see Shane back as part of the Seattle Kraken. And for Ryan Winterton, first game in the National Hockey League. Tell you what, the organization's very high on this guy. He's got all the tools to be a solid player in this league. 3 goals, 2 assists with Coachella Valley this year. But it'd be great to see both these guys playing. And who knows, maybe they could be the ones to make a difference in a game like this. You come in the last, just play your game, and maybe they'll be the ones to propel the Kraken into a big victory tonight in Colorado.
Time now for Vic plumbing between the pipes. And it's Ivan Prosvetov getting the call tonight for Colorado. And Nick, it's Groovy back in for the Kraken.
Yeah, it's great to see Groovy back between the pipes. Joey DeCourt came in and did a real nice job. But for Groovy, good numbers this year. 3 goals against average, a .902 save percentage, and in 3 of his last 5 starts. He's given up 3 goals or less, so he has done his part. And obviously we know of the great success he's had against the Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs last year. It's a confident guy, and I'll tell you what, he always has a little bit more extra juice when you go and play against your former team. And one thing I know for sure is that Groovy's going to come out with a great performance in Colorado, because when you go up against your former team, a little bit more energy, a little bit more firepower, and it's great to see him in the blue paint tonight.
Let's get back to those kids and that fine line, Nick, between wanting to make an instant impact but doing too much and maybe getting yourself in some trouble.
So the game's going to be starting here in about 3-4 minutes or so. Again, Cooper Hopkins may or may not be with me on this side because of some broadcast, probably blackout situations on his end. So if that's the case, then this will just be a solo call, and then we will figure it out as we get through on the next time. Again, that's why we do a lot of the situations with the Calgary Flames. So really just a couple minutes away from puck drop now. Looks like I'll be taking you way through it. If Cooper Hopkins can join in, he will. Might be a blackout situation on that side. We get to the first intermission. If I am on my own, we'll go across the NHL scoreboard on the NBA side, and I'll keep you updated. I see the Red Wings have just scored. It's a 2-2 game now between Montreal and Detroit. The third period is where they do well. They really can't afford to lose the game against Montreal on that side because they're going to be going to Sweden next week. So let's get in the official part of the starting lineups. I already gave those to you, but Ivan Prosvetov is going to be the goaltender of record here today for the Colorado Avalanche. It will be Philip Grubauer on the other side, the former member of the Colorado Avalanche. Again, he had a very memorable season series, especially in the playoff side, as it was the Avalanche on October 17th getting a 4-1 victory over the Seattle Kraken. And we are underway at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. John, are you with you on the call? This is picked up by Jamie Alexiak. and he will try to get this one across. I'll pull up the rest of my rosters here as this goes into the cerulean and maroon end with Jack Johnson, spun around by Miles Wood before this is collected across the red line and then gloved down. Logan O'Connor will get this one all the way across. It'll be an Avalanche on the right wing side. He's going to take a long wrist shot that goes off the glove hand of Philip Grubauer. Colorado's got it now as they will cycle. Good stutter stepping toward the right side of the blue line by Cale Makar. And this is sticked all between the jerseys in white. They're just trying to get this one away right now on the road as Oliver Bjorkstrand almost gets pickpocketed. But this will be picked up now by Seattle. Will Borgen, now Eeli Tolvanen will make this pass into the neutral zone. It's picked up near the left side red line and recollected and flipped in. Be a couple new faces with the Seattle Kraken today, and Ryan Winterton and Shane Wright will be making their debuts for this season only. Shane Wright had a brief appearance last year with the Seattle Kraken, but because of Jordan Eberle and a deep cut on the side of his leg, it's going to be Ryan Winterton drawing in the lineup. So the fourth line is going to look a little bit different. Centering pass will get cut off and sent back down the ice. So I got the Root Sports feed on ESPN Plus with the great John Forslund and Eddie Olchuk on that side. So that's the feed that I have. This is bounced up in the air. Brian Dumoulin will get it out, the former Pittsburgh Penguin, as this is picked up by Val Nichushkin. He's in his zone in off an outstretched pass for Bowen Byram. Byram now, this will get blocked aside by Grubauer. On the left side red line now and behind the net. Avalanche dangerous, but the pass near the right side dot goes sizzling back to Bowen Byram. And we'll have to start this again. So a sauce pass near the right side of the boards. It almost looked dangerous. And an offside entry here might have been Johnson and Nichushkin. They draw offsides, and we'll get a stoppage here early in the first. So this is going to be a lot of fun in this match. But again, it was a 4-1 victory. I think about October 17th when these two teams met on the side in the Climate Pledge. But they're back at Ball Arena, and then they'll have one more meeting, I think, in Climate Pledge. I think both of those start at Ball Arena, but it's 3 meetings on the season. It'll be a few more days from now, they'll do this again, and then their season series will be completely done. As they're showing Ryan Winterton giving a profile here, he's making his NHL debut tonight. And how many times can you think about young members of the Seattle Kraken making an impact? That happened a lot last year, and they're going to depend on Winterton and Lake to kind of steer the ship, especially Matty Beniers, we mentioned 6 assists in 12 games, but he's got no goals. He's a -12. They got to get him going. This is flipped in by Jack Johnson. Take a look around now for Tomas Tatar, as this will get knocked away. A couple stick checks out of there. Bjorkstrand can't find it. And now Jamie Alexiak has to absorb a hit from Jack Johnson. Winterton going to take a long wrist shot near the right side dot, and it was Prosvetov who knocked it away. This is still very live near the right side of the face-off dot, and sticks are stuck in the hands, but this is an opportunity now for O'Connor. His shot gets blocked by Larsson. The flip now for Eeli Tolvanen, as this will get recollected by Cale Makar. We'll backskate this thing. Try to find Devon Tays, but this will go right to the Seattle Kraken. Now Philip Larsson will send this one across. Adam Larsson, excuse me. This is dumped in. Oliver Bjorkstrand will take a look at it as Yanni Gourde is the one that dumps it in. And Colorado off the pinch, able to get this one out. Try to push this one right to left. Lehkonen makes a sweet pass. Devon Tays goes for a 5-hole chance, and Grubauer gets the left pad on it. As it's near the left side red line now. Colorado, Nathan MacKinnon, extra pass. That one goes wide. It goes off the end boards, though, and Grubauer finds it on a second effort. Wide open in the right side circles. Nathan MacKinnon had a cross pass all set up. It was Artturi Lehkonen off the backhand, and it was sent across. I think that was Mikko Rantanen that had an opportunity. Shane Wright had to absorb a hit from Jack Johnson, and they're showing Winterton getting his first shot off in the NHL for a shot on goal. That's going to be good for the 20-year-old, the young man, and Shane Wright, I believe, is still 19. As this is a face-off win in the offensive end. Devon Tays intentionally wide, and just trying to get banked by Nathan MacKinnon off Grubauer, but he'll find it. And Alexiak will fire this one in. As it's a race for the puck. Kartye can't find it. And Seattle can't hold it in. As this will go back in through the neutral zone. Jaden Schwartz turns it over. Colorado will push this in. Nathan MacKinnon is in full flight. Pick this one up now near the left side. He's going to toe drag his way through, but he couldn't get around Kartye. This will be sent back in behind the Kraken defensive net. Phil Grubauer will take a look at it. 15:45 left to go in the first as this is touched by Prosvetov. He is the goaltender of record here for the Colorado Avalanche. Ivan Prosvetov, he looks pretty good from what we see in the numbers in 2 games played. He's 80 goals against him, a save percentage in the 970s, so that always looks pretty good. This is iced against the Colorado Avalanche. So the last game for the Seattle Kraken, they lost 4-3 in a shootout against Arizona. And then on the other side, they were able to, they got smoked a little bit by the Calgary Flames their last time too. Matty Beniers, again, 6 points on the season, -12. He's going to go ahead and take this draw. Colorado won their last game, 6-3. That was on TNT against New Jersey on Tuesday. And Matty might get kicked out of here. So it'll be Jared McCann. Go ahead and take this one against Ryan Johansen. And Johansen will win it clean for the Avs. As the Cerulean and Maroon will try to pick it up. Matty Beniers will force the steal off the backhand. This will be flipped by Bowen Byram and now Val Nichushkin. As this across the Avs logo. This is played nicely in off the right side boards, but the pass is too far and it's offsides. 15:21 left to go in the first. Jared Bednar's squad has a 4-1 shot advantage here early in this game. No goals just yet. Thank you for joining me. I'm not sure if Cooper Hopkins will be in on this game today. I think there might be a blackout situation for where he is in Seattle, but I got the Root Sports feed. I don't know if you can get this on the regular TV side, but we will see at the end of the first. I think he might give me an update. This is picked up by the Avalanche, fought in through the screen. Gerber able to get a pad on it. Bowen Byram keeps it in near the right side of the blue line as the Kraken desperate to try to get this out of the zone as this is recollected by Tomas Tatar. Picked in off the backhand now. Josh Manson will make a nice looking pass here for Miles Wood off the drop. Tufte spins, turns, and this is dispossessed by Ryan Johansen. And Oliver Bjorkstrand will race to get this one down, but Jack Johnson will find it first. 14:35 left to go in the opening frame. We are scoreless. Devin Shore, drop pass, big one-timer for Shane Wright, and that one was canceled off by Prosvetov as this is picked up now for Manson. Stick play bounced way up in the air, lacrosse style. Cogliano can't find it. I think the ref's just going to say this is blown dead with a high stick. So we'll have to do it again in the neutral zone. 14:20. Devin Shore, again, I remember him with the Edmonton Oilers. He's able to force a turnover and make a backhanded pass near the right circle to set up a 1-T. We'll see who he set up on the slow motion replay. Looks like it was an opportunity there for Wright. And yeah, it was a good bomb there, but it was stopped by Prosvetov. So Shane Wright have a couple chances. Winterton's got one too. So the young kids trying to get it done. They got the first 2 shots on goal for the Kraken, but they're being outshot by 2. Schwartz will fire this one in as this is played in off the window near the left side blue line in the defensive end of the Avalanche. And they'll quickly push the other way. Nathan MacKinnon, he's alone. He gets robbed by Grubauer, and he holds on. Nathan MacKinnon was racing in off the backhand. He had the protect puck held. He was finding his way to get near the left side dot, finding his way in the middle of the slot off for a gorgeous touch pass. Hits the right side boards. Number 29 cruising it all alone after some sick puck movement. Got Schultz turned all the way around, and Nathan MacKinnon hits the 9. As this is picked up in a defensive zone face-off, but it's turned right over to the Moose and Mikko Rantanen, but it gets sticked away. And now Schultz will spin as he'll play this one and pull up off the backhand side. Recollected now for Artturi Lehkonen, and he might find it. Fire it right on target to the 5-hole, Prosvetov, but he'll find it. Nathan MacKinnon, full flight off the backhand. He'll drop it, fire it right on. Goes right into Grubauer's stomach. He'll make the save. 13:33 left to go in the first. We're going to take our first commercial break at Ball Arena. We're scoreless.
One day you might wake up and think,
I appreciate it, guys, for anyone joining in on the YouTube side. It might just be me here in the Twitter and X space. I'm expecting Cooper Hopkins to join me, but I think he messaged me aside of a blackout issue on the side of Seattle. Maybe he can't get a feed of the game. If it is, it'll just be me, and then I'll be back on the next week's side because I do have a weekend assignment with the Waterford Sharks.
with Amex, it's never a question if you're going to level up. It's love.
Hey, deal lovers, here's something new.
Having your case can cost you a big deal. And this time, $7 gets you both.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu and pizza.
It's only a deal if you love it. Take it from me, Dan Patrick. No one beats Champion Checkered Flag Pre-Owned.
Here's why used buyers love Champion Automotive Group.
Champion Checkered Flag Pre-Owned comes with lifetime powertrain protection.
So I'm just typing in a couple notes for the story here. So again, Prosvetov is in goal for the Colorado Avalanche. Shane Wright and Winterton draw into the line of Ryan Winterton on that side for the Seattle Kraken. So the fourth line is going to look a little bit different. Again, you think about the young kids getting it done last year. I'm going to try to do that by committee one more time. I'll have to plug in my phone probably in the next commercial break to make sure we can stay live. On the audio side, if you want anything clear, you can join in on the Twitter and X space at John Wright. At the same thing that you're listening to on the YouTube side. Thank you for following along on that. I know most people say that they'll do that as they're driving home from work or wherever else. I appreciate it. So we'll get back into this right now. 13:33 left to go in the first. Matty Beniers gets a defensive zone draw, and he will have to try to find it now. This will go back to Vince Dunn and Adam Larsson. Matty Beniers is there. He will get this one to Larsson now, as he will make a flip of a pass. This will be picked off now by Ross Colton, but not before it's offsides. And we get a stoppage at 13:18. John Under with you. I'm your play-by-play man at Bowl Arena in Denver, Colorado. It's the second meeting of the season between the Kraken and the Avalanche. The Avalanche won the first game 4-1. There are plenty of stats that we can talk about, especially in the commercial break for Kraken members that need to get going. For the Colorado Avalanche, it's been pretty much business as usual, although out of 3 of the last 5, they were shut out before they got a big win against New Jersey on Tuesday. And they pretty much, like a stick of dynamite, got it done. As this is McCann to try to get this one back here for Josh Manson. And the defensive end, Andrew Cogliano, will try to locate it as Matty Beniers will pinch this one in deep. Jared McCann will send this in behind the net, but he turns it right over. Be kept in by Larsson near the right side blue line. As Collar Yamamoto will take a look at it. McCann leaves it for Matty. Plays this in off the backhand now, off the right side window. Beniers gets the interception. Keeps it alive off the backhand now. Spins. He needs some space. He'll fire through the traffic. Big save by Prosvetov as Collar Yamamoto was in on the doorstep there. Bo and Byram will try to find him. And now Beniers, stutter step. Yamamoto trying to work his way away from Nathan MacKinnon. He gets knocked out. He says, "Where's the call?" This will cycle D right side. Larsson fought off by the left pad of Prosvetov. And now McCann, as the Kraken have some consistent pressure here. Manson trying to get this one out with Sam Girard. Now Nathan MacKinnon will find it with Bo and Byram. Byram now finally skates this through the neutral zone. He's going to gain the offensive end too. Bo and Byram, the rest of his teammates are in off a change, so Jared Bednar's squad's going to be quick to keep this in the zone. Good move there for Val Nichushkin. And behind the cage now on the left side red line, here comes a big slap shot by Johnson. And this will fall all the way back to him in the neutral zone as he'll play it to his defensive partner, Josh Manson. Ryan Johansen, he's got it now near the left side of the red line. He'll put this in behind the net near the right side as this will go D near the right side. Picked up for the Avalanche as this goes in off the window. As they'll work at D. Couldn't find Sam Girard. Eeli Tolvanen's got it. Oliver Bjorkstrand works his way to the neutral. He'll flip it in near the left side of the window and matriculate this thing as Tolvanen picks it up off the backhand in the left side boards. Yanni Gourde will watch this spin away from him as Ryan Winterton has it. Yanni Gourde will put this near the right side as this goes all the way out. No defenseman were holding. It must have been the middle of a change for Dave Hakstol's squad as we're almost halfway through the first. As Winterton, it gets stick lifted, picked up by Cogliano, long wrist shot. That is sold by Grubauer. Devin Tays was there. As this is near the right side of it, Justin Schultz will find this away from a couple of Avalanche. Here's our quick break right down the middle. Prosvetov cancels it out. That was a good setup there. Devin Shore was the one that got the breakaway, number 94. Looks like he just got his from the Seattle Kraken shop, as that name on the front of it looks like it just got freshly tagged over. But he's the one that got the outstretched breakaway pass, and Prosvetov stood his ground near the right side of the butterfly, canceled it off. So this fourth line between Shore, Winterton, and Wright are doing the job right now. Minute 31, minute 30, and a minute 27 respectively for the newly minted fourth line in this game. We'll see how long they stay together. Somebody got kicked out of the draw for the Avalanche in the offensive end of the Kraken. It's Miles Wood, and he gets set to take it. So it's a winger here. Should be a matchup for the Kraken, but we mentioned as far as the 32 teams in the league, Jaden Schwartz going to try to take it now. Out of 32 teams in the league, that's where the Kraken were as far as face-off percentage last year. Wenberg will get this one now. Let's go flip this around. Jaden Schwartz will flip it. Picked up by the Kraken in their own end. This will be an opportunity now for Borgen. This is a bad giveaway, though. Right in the middle. Picked up by Taves. Here comes a big slap shot in through traffic as it bounced off of Borgen. He turned it over, but he blocked the shot. Avalanche trying to keep this in with a couple outreach sticks. Kraken, here's a good setup there. Shorts off a pinch. And Prosvetov will get this one in his stomach as well. So Seattle getting plenty of chances. This one was Kartye off the rush. And Prosvetov's been getting a workout here early. This has been a good contest on both sides. Yes, there's been some giveaways. Yes, there's been some chances. But both of these teams are playing with some high energy. And this feels much like the playoff series, at least in this game 2 of the regular season between the two, that we had last year. And that's good to see. So face-off win at 10:09. Here's a long slap shot. This goes up the left stick of Prosvetov. And now the Kraken have this one again. As Jaden Schwartz put this around. Larsson will try to locate this away from Ross Colton. He got a mean hit on Luke Hughes the other day. Matty Beniers dispossessed off a stick lift by Artturi Lehkonen beautifully. Sam Girard tried to get it to number 29, Anthony McKinnon, but there was Vince Dunn. Matty Beniers, here's a hopeful pass, but this is going to work out. Kyle Yamamoto. The Moose is back in behind his own net, Mikko Rantanen. And it'll be Seattle. Pick it up off the dead center. They'll get their full cell line changes anyway. Everybody's near it. They might as well do so. As this is off a stick, this will bounce off Provotov's goal stick. Sam Girard, Nichushkin, has it out. Here's a blind backhanded spin, as this is an example of some skill down Nichushkin and off the press, as this is near the left side, as this gets away from Schultz. And Dumoulin on the third line defense for Dave Hakstol. Here's an outstretched pass. He gave it right to Miles Wood. Settle it back down. Here's a bomb of a slap shot. That was Cale Makar. But Alexander Georgiev, again, he's looking on the bench now. I almost said Georgiev. That's Grubauer on this side that made the save. This Bjorkstrand will put this in around the window and recollect it now for Larsson. This is given away right to Manson and sent back down where Will Borgen will find it. Borgen and Dumoulin are the defensive pair out there right now. As Dumoulin drops it back to Will, give it back to Dumoulin. This is now near the right side of the blue line, looking to gain the neutral zone. Here's a flip pass off the backhand, trying to find somebody, but Tomas Tatar was there as it bounced off his leg. Avalanche were able to get this one out. Winterton trying to provide a couple of battles there right now. I love his effort on this fourth line side. They're going right back out there. Here's an opportunity now for Olofsson as this one gets knocked away off a hopeful pass attempt. Be picked up by Will Borgen off the back, and he turns it right over to Manson. As this is dumped in deep, 8 minutes left to go in the first. As this is Winterton, I'll see the pass go right in the middle of the circles. Devin Shore on the end of his change. We'll go ahead and take it. Jack Johnson now. For Logan O'Connor. Tufte. Here's picked up here for Ross Colton. Cross pass right side. Dot. Good save by Grubauer. He did see it the whole way. But these goaltenders have been sparkling so far. Another break. 7:45 left to go in the first. We're scoreless.
The NHL is taking hockey to a whole new level with NHL Blast on Roblox. Team up with friends, shoot, score, and of course, sell in this fast-paced twist on hockey. Explore today at NHL.com/blast.
All right, so we are still scoreless. I appreciate you guys following in between the YouTube side, the Twitter, and X space. I'm John Reinhardt. I'm with you here on this side up until this is done, and then we'll get you the game story at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com when we get to it. I believe it might just be me for this game entirety because Cooper Hopkins, I think he was mentioning, I think we have a blackout situation on that end. And that's where we do a lot of the Flames games. I was hoping we can get a Kraken and Avalanche game because I know he's a proud member for Seattle. Has been there his whole life, so I figure we can get one of these games in. See if we can. I'm looking at the NHL scoreboard. It is still 2-2 between the Canadiens and the Red Wings. Red Wings did tie it in the third. They badly need to get these 2 points. I'm not just talking about some of the losses in between the New York Rangers that didn't look good the other day, but you're going to Sweden next week, especially after you play the Canadiens and the Blue Jackets, and you're going to Sweden where you're going to play the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'll give you the rest of the scores as we go along. If we don't have any other intermission conversations and Cooper doesn't join, I'll just give you the scores in the intermission. So they renamed it the Peter McNabb broadcast booth. That's a very good job and classy move there for the Colorado Avalanche. As we're looking there on the Root Sports feed, it's a friend that passed away on that side, a longtime member of the Avalanche. So picked up in the offensive end by Nathan MacKinnon. Knocked down the Moose in behind the net of Philip Grubauer. He's got it now, though. He's patient. He'll work this to the right side. Fire it right on. Cale Makar for the traffic. Grubauer can't locate it. And several Kraken just trying to get to their feet. This will go back to the left side blue line and wrapped around the inboards again for Nathan MacKinnon. Devin Taves has it now. He's trying to find Nathan. This is a pinball near the left side of the right side duck, and this will be recollected by Wenberg. He'll flip it in. This might actually work out. It bounced off a couple Maroon and Cerulean. As Josh Manson gets it away from Kartye. And Nathan MacKinnon has it. He'll get this in across the red line. He broke his stick trying to dump this one in, if you can believe that. It was pretty soft anyway. Just a backhand. But he'll go ahead and take his change. Here's an entry for Matty Beniers, but he lost an edge. Sam Girard finds the steal. So this is played off the backhand, but intercepted by the Kraken. Prosvetov. Flip this around as Byram has to take a half of a cross check near the right side boards. Kari Yamamoto, he has to feel the pain from Byram as he gives it right back. Matty Beniers gain the entry right in across the Avs logo. Here's a drop near the right side. Long shot. Prosvetov will kick it away. This is picked up by a diving Ross Colton, member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, now with the Avalanche. And Beniers send this one back. 6:05 left to go in the first. Both teams are making changes. The Kraken have it in their defensive end as they'll start. Schwartz. Justin Schultz will flip this one in. You will remember the Washington Capitals. Again, that expansion draft. And all these players for the Kraken are still doing a lot of damage. They got off to a slow start this year, but they want to improve on that. Oliver Bjorkstrand near the right side boards. He's getting canceled off by Bowen Byram. On the right side red line, Bjorkstrand will relocate this against the boards off his forehand, but it's a nicely played pass from Tufte. Tufte now for Nichushkin. As Tufte will finish his check, one of the Kraken go down away from the camera cut. Tufte trying to find it now for a member of the Dallas Stars. He's got this in behind the cage of Philip Grubauer, holding on the right post in the butterfly. Couple of puck battle. Nathan MacKinnon trying to dispossess the pair of Kraken. So with this here for Jack Johnson. So this right side, Doug Manson will fire a straightaway wrist shot. This one pinballs off the end boards, and it gets away from Mikko Rantanen. 5 minutes left to go in the first. We are scoreless. Backhanded passes, offsides, and we get a stoppage right at the 5-minute mark. 9 shots to 8. That's what the shots on goal say. But we're going to take another break. See you in a minute.
More on this when we come back. No score. You're there.
Looking at the YouTube question, glad to see that there's 4 votes in there. Appreciate you guys for that. I said, can the Kraken overcome a slow start to the season and make the playoffs? Again, they're 4-6-3, but it's a slow start from their standards from last year. If you compare it to the expansion year, they're doing quite a bit better. It could be an on-again, off-again type thing for the Seattle Kraken because they're still a very young team. 4 votes, it's split right down the middle, 2 and 2. Yes and no. That sounds like Chuck Woolery if you get the Love Connection date reference. Yes, I'm old. I'm 36. So that is put in there. Let me give you the stats. 9-8 are the shots on goal. Colorado Avalanche have that lead. Hits are 10-5 for the Kraken. Face-offs a little bit closer than the Kraken usually have it. It's 7-5 for the Avs. No penalties just yet. 8 block shots to 2 in favor of Seattle. 5 giveaways for Seattle, just 1 for the Avs. Looks like Montreal and Detroit are going to overtime, tied at 2. So the Red Wings at least pick up a point. That is the bare minimum of what they needed to do. I will give you the full scoreboard and I'll reset once we get to the end of it. We also have some finals to talk about as well. The Rangers do win 4-1 against the Wild. The Wild fall to 5-6-2. Tough start to the year for them. The Rangers improved to 10-2-1. So everybody talking about the big school Knights and the Boston Bruins for good reason. They need to talk about the Rangers as well. And they're 4-1 at home. Most of their games have been on the road to start the year.
It's a hard hit. But again, watch Jamie Alexei. I think he saw the hit here and he goes in and he takes an extra step there to try to get a hit on O'Connor. There just comes a point there when
Back into the play-by-play here as we are underneath 5 minutes of the opening frame. We are scoreless. The shots are 9-8 as this is recollected by the Kraken and Kartye. Get this near the right side window. Now the right side red line is evil. Bounce this thing to himself and across the boards. And flipped it back down for Adam Larsson. This will get sent all the way back down. And Seattle will look to start again left to right at the end of this first period. That's what they want. They want to make sure that this stays scoreless or at least get a goal to the good. And same thing for the Avalanche. I think you can't question the effort for both of these teams so far. You got to be happy with what you've seen on the first period between both sides. And that's always good to talk about in that light. As Larsson has it now. They'll slowly stick chop this thing in across the red line and fire it in. As we'll take a look for Devin Tays. Picked up now for Ross Colton, trying to get around another 20 on that side as Miles Wood is pasted by Yanni Gourde. But this will be picked up. Cale Makar will fire this one down. It's iced with 3:53 left to go in the first. Again, I know Alec had just joined in on this side. I don't know if Cooper Hopkins is going to be able to join me for this broadcast. I think it'll be a blackout situation, but if not, he might join me in the first period to listen in, or nonetheless, it could just be me on this side also. I'll see. If Alec does stick around for some of this, we'll probably bring him right into the second period. I'm just going to go ahead and finish out the rest of this first and plug my phone in at this point. Matty Beniers and Ross Colton in on the draw. Kraken have outscored opponents 16-9 in the first period. They are going to need to try to continue that as they go along. Again, 4-6-3 on the season, 5th in the Pacific. As you mentioned with Beniers, he's a -12 on the season. He's got 6 points in 12 games. All assists, no goals just yet. Face-off win. I'll go right back to D. Matty will find his way in front of the net in between some traffic as this goes in behind the cage for the Kraken. 3:40 left to go on the first as this is flipped down with left hand, picked up by Wood. And Colorado will recollect this in their own end. 3:30 left to go in this first as Tufty sees this knocked away from him. Caller Yamamoto will take a charge. He'll just clear this one right in as Manson will locate Yamamoto. Almost got this in between his skates right in front of Prosvetov. But this is picked up by Manson and then turned over. Yamamoto, this gets centered out in front. He tried to find Jared McCann. Matty Beniers now. As this goes off the zebra skate down to 3 minutes, here's a big-time slap shot as this one will go wide. Will Borgen takes a look at it. Tufty off the drop. We'll see if he can find it from Jamie Alexiak, but he uses the outstretch of his stick for Yamamoto. Picked up in the offensive end. This is centered out by Jaden Schwartz to nobody in particular. The Maroon and Cerulean got it now. Bounced up in the air. Back on the defensive end for Devin Tays. We're still scoreless in this first. 2:35 left to go in the opening frame. 9 shots to 7 shots on goal in favor of Colorado. Ball Arena. As this is picked up now for Seattle on the defensive end. They will send this here from Dunn and Larsson play crisscross in their own end. Look to get settled. 100-foot pass. Sticked away nicely by Cale Makar, but it's Devin Shore. This fourth line for the Seattle Kraken, they've been very noticeable so far. As Winterton picks it up now, Shore tries to get this one near the right side boards. Ryan Winterton's going to try to finish a check again. He's been very physical so far. 20-year-old has shown himself quite well in this first period of his NHL career. Now to the right side, dangle it across. Good pickup there for Tatar to get a piece of it. Still with the Kraken. Larsson, big-time slap shot, shoots it wide near the right side end boards now. As this is in deep near the right side red line, Adam Larsson finds it near the right dot, but it is contested by the Avalanche as they're trying to get this one out with Andrew Cogliano. Minute 30 left to go in the first as this is flipped. Sent back down and across the red. Kartye has it off the drops. It's Schwartz. He scores! What a snipe on the left side of the dot. He goes bar down on the opposite end, and Jaden Schwartz gets Seattle off and running. It's 1-0. And my apologies if I sound like John Forslund on that side. That's the way he would call it. I will have to plug in my phone now as we get a little bit of this break, and I will go ahead and take a look and give to you how it happened. But it's Jaden Schwartz off the back pass. It's nicely set up. No opportunity for Prosvetov to be able to try to make a save or do much of anything there. That's just a great setup. And Jaden Schwartz, he's kind of been the goal-scoring leader here for the Kraken, and he gets it done. It's first blood for Jaden. 1:21 left to go in the first as this is flipped back down. So Jaden Schwartz on an 8-game point streak, 5 goals and 5 assists. He has been the best member of the Kraken so far. See if the Avalanche can answer. Mikko Rantanen, he gets worked over in the offensive end behind the cage of Philip Grubauer. As we're down to a minute in the opener. Stick is broken. Kartye and Vince Dunn with the assists. As it's about 50 seconds left to go, Nathan MacKinnon sees this knocked away from him. And Jaden Schwartz, the one that just scored, he's the one that's going to flip this one back down. About 40 seconds left to go in this first. Seattle has drawn first blood. Picked up on the right side red line now. This bounces off the broken stick. This will be a break for the Kraken. Tolvanen. Here's an opportunity for Schultz. Tolvanen gains the entry. Here's a back pass. Kraken dangerous. Pass across. Prosvetov gets a foot on this thing and sends it down. This will be blown dead against Colorado. 22 seconds left to go in the first. Kraken almost made it 2-0 on that side. Backhanded pass. Tried to find a cutting Yanni Gourde. This goes off the left pad of Prosvetov. That would have been 2-0. So 10 shots to 8. That is going to have to be updated. But Seattle, they're happy where they are. So 1-0 lead for the Kraken. So late goal for Jaden Schwartz. Always good to get those late ones. Matty Beniers wins an offensive zone draw. Valeri gets a shot block as it's Larsson. We'll flip this one in for Beniers, and this will be shoveled away with the stick. Yamamoto tries to locate it. Logan O'Connor. We'll flip this one down and across the neutral zone. Is this going to be time to be iced again? Yes, it will. So Seattle going to get another offensive zone draw. And we can do this again. At the end of the first period, 10 shots for the Avalanche, 8 for the Kraken. Looks like it is going to end 1-0. At the end of the first, we're going to get one more draw here for Matty. It's enough time with 2.7 seconds to get a shot in off the draw. We'll see if Seattle can do so. So we get set as the sticks go down, and that ends the first period. Seattle takes a 1-0 lead in the dressing room.
How are we, John? And Hockey Mike's Cancer Night here in Colorado, and they just introduced the Peter McNabb Broadcasting booth up at Ball Arena, being named after him. Nice honor there for him.
Yeah, I saw that on that side for Root Sports Feed when they showed them. That's nice honor. Again, we lost him all too soon on that side. And for the Avalanche, he was a longtime member of that broadcast crew. Because we are in the middle of the commercial break, I am going to flip selfishly over to the overtime and see who wins between Montreal and Detroit. Detroit badly needs 2 points. I want to see if they can get him, because after the Saturday game against Columbus, they're going to go to Sweden for a couple games.
Good job by the NHL in expanding their brand. I mentioned this before, but if you want to expand your brand, you got to take this and take your games internationally. Say to Sweden, like what the NFL is doing, and now the NHL is doing the same thing with games going over to Sweden. We could see more Ds between every league in the future.
I think we will, and we're going to get into the NHL scoreboard. And they scored. Montreal Canadiens, they pick up the extra point. I think it might be Cole Caulfield. So, again, it's been nothing but misery here for the last couple days for me, but Cole Caulfield is the one that finishes it off. Detroit gets at least a point. I think this really puts you in a situation, and I'm not trying to get too disingenuous here. I think it's a must-win this weekend against the Columbus Blue Jackets, because when you do go to Sweden and play Ottawa and Toronto, those are not gimmies by any means.
Absolutely not. With how Ottawa played against Toronto, you think that Ottawa will be getting back in stride and finding something after they docked Pierre Dorian after he failed to notify the Vegas Golden Knights about them getting Dadonov's no trade list, about him potentially being traded to the Anaheim Ducks, in which that team was on Dadonov's no trade list. But Ottawa, they may be picking up the pace after Dorian got docked and sacked after that. That was basically the last straw for Michael Andalor and the Senators. But Cole Caulfield, every time I get to watch him play with the Canadiens, I enjoy watching this kid. 5'7", and he's lighting the lamp like it's a nightly basis under the tutelage of Martin St. Louis.
Yeah, it's hard to believe when you have Suzuki, Caulfield, Sean Monahan is playing good this year on this side. I know Canadians are in a little bit of a rebuild situation, but look, their record, 7-5-2 Red Wings, 6-5-2 Canadians. It's kind of the same damn thing across the board, and this Canadiens team is pretty good, so I don't think you can take them lightly from everything that you're speaking of. I just flipped over between Dallas and Columbus on this side. It's 4-2. We will go back to the Kraken side. That'll be the featured part of the broadcast. Opening goal there was for Schwartz. On that side, I'll just give you the quick reset. For those that are joining in, 1839 from Schwartz, Kartye, and Dunn. Again, Ryan Winterton and Shane Wright draw into the fourth line lineup today for the Kraken. Try to get some young infusion there because Jordan Eberle got a deep cut in his right side leg during practice, so he's going to be day-to-day. And Prosvetov is the goaltender of record here for the Avalanche in today's game, as it's 1-0 after one.
I gotta wonder what is it with the NHL and these skateway cuts these days, because if I recall correctly, Evander Kane, Jacob Lawco, Adam Johnson, even though that was over in the UK, and now Jordan Eberle has 4 skateway cuts in the first month of NHL action, and we get the Johnson situation, former Pittsburgh Penguin, and I just don't know what is it with the skateway cuts nowadays. I know the Eberle situation isn't that serious, but it's still a deep cut. Not serious to the point where it's life-threatening, but it's serious enough. This is no joke, because you're skating around with knives as on your feet.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is. There's a knife's edge and everything else that they call about it. It's always the same thing. You're correct about that. Let's go into the out-of-town scoreboard. Again, I mentioned this a little bit earlier just before you joined in about the Bruins and the Golden Knights, about their record, but don't look now. The New York Rangers, they are 10-2-1 on the season. After they demolished the Red Wings, they demolished the Wild. They win 4-1.
You know, I saw a tweet from Jake Cardinale that the Rangers are a vastly improved defensive team. We know about their offensive talent, but Jake is right on one thing. They have improved defensively, and that has shown in their last few games. We covered them when they beat the Red Wings, and they did enough to hold on after taking command of the game for the first 40 minutes. And this game is no different. Plus, Blake Wheeler gets his first as a blue shirt. Should be the welcoming that he has been looking for after getting just 1 point in his first 10 or so games.
That is a big point there, and another big point from Artturi Panarin as he gets one off the empty net. He's already had an assist as well, but a 13-game point streak. The start the season. We mentioned with Rod Gilbert. He, I believe, now is 3 games from tying the point record all time for the Blue Shirts, 4 from breaking it. And I think the Breadman might have a pretty good chance of doing so, Alec.
Yeah, he has a very good chance. One of the best playmakers of the game today, and he's been showing it, but not only with the assists, but also with the goals that he's put up.
So here's a surprising result for me. The Tampa Bay Lightning go down at home on this anomaly, 5-3 to the Chicago Blackhawks. I know they've been playing well of late, but it was a first period explosion for the Blackhawks. They score 4 times, and Connor Bedard gets a pair. He's got 7 on the season now. Tyler Johnson also gets one. Kevin Korchinski gets his first. Steven Stamkos finds one. So does Kucherov and Cirelli. Looks like Jonas Johansson got lit up a little bit, 24 and a 29. And Peter Mrazek, I don't know what it is when it goes to the Maple Leafs, when it looked like he didn't know where the posts are, but he's been playing pretty good for the Chicago Blackhawks. He stopped 30 out of 33 in the victory.
It appears that he may be finding his stride like he is back in Carolina. Because that's how good he has been with the Blackhawks. 5-7-0 to start the season, which I say is good for their expectations. And how about a bit of Corey Perry revenge as he gets one on the Bolts, who he went to the Stanley Cup final with in 22. And a bit of a homecoming as he was a well-liked member in their locker room. Someone that people would not like if he was on an opposing team, but someone that people would like if he was on their team.
Yeah, absolutely. He provides the grit and sandpaper and can score some goals. I know this is an obvious statement that I'm about to throw out there, but Connor Bedard, again, 7 goals, and Chicago 5-7 on the season, as Alec mentioned. I still think with the way that this is working out for the Blackhawks right now, that's a ton of goal scoring for Connor Bedard. And then when they get a few other more talented players that can play with him on the first line, look out, because if he's already doing this in his first year, you can kind of see why he was the first overall pick, because 7 goals is a ton for a team that doesn't have a lot of good players on it.
You know, he's going to be up there as a Calder Trophy voting. I see him as a favorite for it because, yes, he's expected for this pace, but 7 goals already. What a way to start your career if you're Connor Bedard. He's going to be up there alongside Logan Cooley and Matthew Poltrock with the Coyotes and the Bruins. That's why he lists as my favorites to start off the season. But I'm not going to sleep on Pavel Mintyukov of the Anaheim Ducks or Luke Hughes, even though he exited that game against the Colorado Avalanche. But he's going to still be up there. Mintyukov, I see as a sleeper pick.
Yeah, when you mentioned the Luke Hughes hit, I think if you're Ross Colton and all you do is get a fine on the side of it in between Timo Meier and the Luke Hughes side of it, I think he'll take that fine and say, okay, if you allow me to continue to throw out the punishment, I'm going to do so. Speaking of players that are off to incredible starts, I honestly had to wipe my glasses a little bit and look again. But to open the scoring for the Vancouver Canucks, and yes, their record is correct, 10-2-1 on the season. It's kind of exactly like the New York Rangers, but Brock Besser has 11 goals already.
What I love to see about the Canucks, they're finally finding their potential and breaking out with Rick Tocchet as their coach. I like this hire for them, and he's starting to warm up to me more and more. I didn't like the way that they let go of Bruce Boudreau, but Tocchet may be finding himself as the coach that Vancouver has needed all along, because their defensive efforts have vastly improved. The offensive results are there and in bunches. It's not only with the Bo Horvat trade, but they're getting offense left and right. Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, JT Miller, Anthony Beauvillier, Andrei Kuzmenko. You can name any one of their forwards or Quinn Hughes on the defensive side or Philip Peronic, and you would not be wrong with them.
No, you wouldn't. And the amazing stat that I saw the other day, because I look at Philip Peronic, he's got 14 assists. I know the former Red Wing on that side, and they gave up a first-round pick last year to put him there. Philip Peronic does not have a goal on this season, but he's got 14 points. They're all dimes right now, and Vancouver is absolutely rolling. And again, it's kind of got to be a slap and a little bit of the face to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who just got schooled the other day by Ottawa, and then Ottawa gets schooled by Vancouver. They lose 5-2. Anton Forsberg, 11 out of 16, 5-6. that's all it was. 11 out of 16. That is the final results there. That's the only amount of shots on goal that Vancouver got, and yet they still scored 5. And Casey DeSmith looks to get the win, stopping 28 out of 30. So, holy cow, Vancouver did not get a lot of shots on goal. Doesn't matter. They got the job done.
They don't ask how many, they just ask how sometimes. That's the case with Vancouver. Doesn't matter how you score, how many shots you put up. It's about how you score those goals those at times.
So we'll look at this here. One more final for us. Boston 11-1-1 on the year. Again, who saw that coming at this point? We could have said the same damn thing last year for both of these teams. But Brock Nelson and Trent Fredericks traded off goals in the first period, respectively, for the Islanders and the Bruins. But then it was all Bruins after that. You had Charlie Coyle in the second. You had Coyle with an empty netter to finish it off. You had Coyle with a hat trick, as he had 3 goals. David Pastrnak also got one. And Simon Holmstrom shorthanded for JGP for the Islanders, but they lose 5-2. Olmark stops 27 out of 29, and Ilya Sorokin takes the loss. He stops 30 out of 34.
Sometimes the antidote to a hot goaltender is a hotter goaltender, and a hometown boy who can find his stride and scoring at will. That's what Charlie Coyle did for his hometown Bruins. They're native of Weymouth, Massachusetts, just right outside of Boston. And these Bruins really are impressing me, especially the coaching effort Jim Montgomery's been putting up. He certainly looks comfortable with the Bruins in his new home.
I'll tell you this, as far as the goaltender and the hotter goaltender, that was one that made me laugh. You are in mid-season form, my friend, and we're only about 13 games into this year. It is the Jets and the Preds that just ends the second period. Take a look at the Jets here. This is all Jets on this side. Looks like Kyle Connor's got a couple. He's got 10. Cole Perfetti also has one. So does Mason Appleton. Mason Appleton was a good pickup after being way acquired at the trade deadline last year. Philip Forsberg has a pair of goals for the Nashville Predators. Laurent Brossoit, he got the start. Again, Alec just talked about Connor Hellebuyck the other day, but Brossoit stops 13 out of 15 so far. You say Saros, 24 out of 28. So back-to-back games here for you say Saros. Again, they're good teams. Again, Calgary might not be in that same spot, but Yusei's got lit up the last couple games if you talk about Calgary and Winnipeg tonight.
Sometimes I wonder how some of the best goaltenders are doing. I did not expect Yusei Saros and Connor Hellebuyck to be 2 goaltenders that will be struggling to start out this season. Because normally we would expect that they'd be among the best of the best goaltenders, but Hellebuyck and Saros haven't been looking the part. Already 2 goals by Kyle Connor, the mainstay of this Jets offense. Like what I'm seeing from him, he's doing his usual offensive prowess scoring.
And what I will say with this, I know you're going to agree on that side, but still, I got to mention it. You know, with Laurent Brossoit, as we talked about the other day, that's more than capable backup. Again, the starter for the Vegas Golden Knights, former backup for the Jets before as a second go-around. But they need Yusei Saros in Nashville to play like Yusei Saros because there really isn't too many answers there on the back end. Is it still Kevin Lankinen for Nashville on that side? I mean, there is a precipitous drop-off as far as offensive talent between the Jets and the Preds.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the goalies behind Saros. Kevin Lankinen is a high-end backup. Let's not lie about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Yaroslav Askarov at the minors, who's still developing. We don't know how his ceiling is going to be in the NHL because we haven't had a chance to see him play either in the NHL or AHL at that point. But they need Saros to turn around and quickly.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can do that on that side because you're right. That's where I would completely agree with it. One other interim action to get to you in the second. Looks like Oscar Sundqvist and Robert Thomas got goals for the Blues. Lawson Krause with his 5th in the power play for the Coyotes from Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. It is, let me make sure I get this correctly, Joel Hofer in net for the St. Louis Blues. He looks like he could be a decent goaltender going forward alongside Jordan Binnington, and Carl Vejmelka has stopped 25 of 27 for the Coyotes.
I've seen the stat line on Vejmelka's side, 25 of 27. While the Coyotes have had just 10 shots all game. I mean, It's the end of the second period and already it's an disparaging shot total.
Yeah, and Vomilka, I feel like if he wasn't in Arizona, I think he'd be talked about more, Alec, on this. So, like, I think he's a pretty darn good goaltender, to be honest. And any of these 32 teams, I think would. I know you got Lena Solmark and Jeremy Swayman or Igor Shesterkin and Sorokin. There's certain teams where he wouldn't be a starter, but I think most of these teams he would be.
Yeah, he would be. And any other team, he'd be talked about a lot more outside of Arizona. He's keeping the Coyotes afloat, even though he has a bad defense right in front of him. But for the most part, he's looked like a solid starter with Arizona.
I think that is going to continue. He just seems to always be able to get the job done. And when you think about it on the other side, I believe you've had situations with like Darcy Kemper or some. They've had some interesting goaltending in Arizona for a long time. It'd be nice if they can hold on to somebody like Vomilka, but as Alex said, I'd like to see the defense pick up. It looks like we only have 2 games in the NBA today. So the Bucks, they were able to get past the Pistons off the back-to-back. This time they lose a 2-point game to the Pacers, 126-124. And Giannis, I'll just be honest here. He got ejected yesterday in the game against the Pistons off a dunk. And I thought it was a pretty poor call by Rodney Mott. And I would never throw officials under the bus on that side. It was kind of a mean mug off a dunk. This time, let's look at Giannis in his stat line. I'll tell you the points in a minute, but here's what I'm most impressed of. It's not the 19 of 25 from the field, which is absolutely ridiculous. Giannis went 16 of 18 at the free throw line, and he had 54 points.
I mean, we usually talk about Giannis and his free throw struggles, but if we remember correctly, in Game 6 of the 2021 NBA Finals, he went 16 of 17. Normally, he'll find his comfort zone at home from the free throw line, but on the road, wow. When people talk about his free throw routine, but he was doing everything to keep the Bucks afloat, even if it wasn't a losing effort, as we see 3 20-point scorers on the Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton, Bennett Mathurin, and Miles Turner being his usual Miles Turner self. Hallie Burgess also established himself as an point guard with Indy. It's nice. His trade for them, and the trade has worked wonders for both Indy and the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I think so. And on the other side, it's just worth mentioning here, Damian Lillard, it was Dame time the other day, got it done when Giannis was kicked out. No Dame time today, apparently, maybe some type of load management situation off the back-to-back, so he doesn't play against the Pacers. You have to think if he does, Milwaukee Bucks do win that one, especially with Giannis getting 54 and 12 in a loss. As we mentioned, the good scoring that was in pace between Indiana with 3 different 20-point scorers. The only other one that's going on in the NBA, it looks like, are the Hawks and the Magic. We're going to be getting into the second period. Do you want to take the second period?
Hey, why not? So, here we go. Second period underway. Boogity. As Darryl Waltrip would say in NASCAR, we're 30 seconds in, and already Seattle's been buzzing. They're up 1-0 on the Avalanche. No Jordan Eberle for them. He is recovering from that deep cut on his leg. He is day-to-day. And here is Oliver Bjorkstrand. His shot gets blocked off a stick. Will Morgan keeps this down low and onto the far corner. Yanni Gourde, double team. Nice beat by Ross Colton as one Kraken gets knocked down. But we get a stoppage. I believe this puck went up into the netting. Maybe off of Josh Manson. 53 seconds in.
So again, I think Alec Vision's going to be way ahead of me on this side. So you got about a 15-second advantage on me for whatever reason. But we will see if the Seattle Kraken can continue to go ahead and push as much as they did. I'd like the fourth line that we mentioned with Winterton and Wright. And we will see if that continues to roll because the young players were able to get it done last year. And I think they're going to need them again this season.
Yeah, normally when you have a young prospect, it would normally be a bad team that is getting more picks. But Seattle is in a situation where they can use these young players, and they already have a nice team in the big leagues. So here's Colorado in the Seattle zone, could not get any shots. Some good sticks by the Kraken in preventing those shots. McCann lost the handle. Like it at a tight angle. Hit Dunn's skate. Now here's a lead pass for Jaden Schwartz as he enters the zone. He's just going to fire this around for the boards from near to far. Kartye was picked up on the pass, and the Avs cleared it, throw it away down to Seattle zone. The Kraken get it back. Schwartz a turnaround pass in. Grossman is going to play it out, but he turns it over immediately to the Kraken. Spinning and turning is Kyler Yamamoto, former Oiler. And here's a long shot with the right point. Didn't make it to the net. MacKinnon picks it up. Can be dangerous with speed. Just going to chip this forward, but this gets knocked onto the stick of Justin Schultz. Now it's brought back in by the Kraken. The 25th anniversary of Hockey Fights Cancer. And the Avalanche hosting Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Puck at the near corner of the Avs zone. Fought for by Matty Beniers. Now here's Jared McCann, who's just going to pass it back for a one-timer kicked up by Prosvetov. Picked up by Brian Dumoulin. And here's a shot from the left circle. Beniers gets robbed by Prosvetov that time. Now the Kraken. Sorry, once again, Schultz. And a long shot. Also kicked out by Prosvetov as Bill Grubauer is rushing right behind the net to keep it away from Riley Tufting, whose impact has been noticeable for the Avs throughout this game with his physicality and his physique. His height advantage playing off dividends for Colorado as well. Nice puck protection, trying to allow the Avs to get a line change in a first period shift. This puck gets dumped in over to the near corner. Jamie Oleksiak playing keep away from Colorado, and Seattle gets it right back. Backhand along. Bowen Byron kept this one in for the Avs. Now it's loose over the near corner. Poked along over the near side by Beniers, who gets this one out. He was looking for Devin Shore, but too far on the pass, and Sam Girard has it. Driving the lane is Girard over the near side. Girard backhands one off the side of the net, and this one turned over to the Kraken. Now bringing this up to Shore, wearing number 94, a rare jersey number to wear in the NHL. But Sam Girard previously wore this in the 5 games he played with the Nashville Predators before being acquired in the Kyle Turner trade. Now here comes the Avs. Backhander off the rush, and Grubauer saw Freddie Olofsson the entire way to keep this a 1-0 game for Seattle.
So what I like on the other side for Seattle, they had a lot of chances on the behind the net for the Colorado Avalanche. Have to work this thing with Prosvetov, a lot of slap shots and everything else the other way. Got a lot of puck possession, but that chance that just went right down the middle. That was a good close off by Grubauer. Both these goaltenders have played well so far.
Yeah, it's been an even game between these two goaltenders, between Prosvetov and Grubauer. Grubauer's looking like he's back in Colorado, right?
Yeah, he looks to be in form right now, and that's exactly the playoff mode that the Kraken need right now if they want to get to do a little bit better as this season goes along.
And he wanted to be at that pace, but you get those better numbers in the regular season. So far, he's looked the part against Colorado. He's known this team in the years that he has spent with them. Faceoff is won by the Kraken after Alex Wenberg got tossed out the faceoff circle. They clear. Avs bring it right back, and this puck goes over to the near corner off this chip and chase. Ross Colton backhands it along. This goes to the far side, and this pass going to the near corner. Didn't find a man there, and there was a glove that gets knocked loose. That was one of the Kraken players that lost the glove. Both teams still fighting for the puck. Is now at the far side of the ice. And this gets pulled down free. Oliver Bjorkstrand just tapped it lightly to Vince Dunn, who just aired this out. It's gloved down by Josh Manson, and the entry feed to Colton. Colton drop pass. Now a shot gets blocked by the stalwart Adam Larsson. Kraken starting to rush. Potential 2-on-2. Bjorkstrand gets his reverse hit on the lane there. The shot scored! Oliver Bjorkstrand on a quick shot from the left side to right circle. It is 2-0 Seattle.
It's the start that they've wanted right now. Again, they're coming off of a 4-1 loss, and the first time these teams played. Hey, they're going to meet a few days from now again. Oliver Bjorkstrand able to keep this one alive and then get it right back and finish it off. That is stick-to-itiveness, and that's a great goal.
Yeah, that was a little awkward incident between him and Artturi Lehkonen. Initially, they came into contact with one another seasons, and both of them were running right into each other at the beginning, but Bjorkstrand kept his composure for the entire play. Stay with the puck, didn't give up, and that's the Bjorkstrand that Seattle has been looking for. The form that he has shown back with Columbus, and for goals like these, that's impressive from Bjorkstrand as Seattle starts this 3-on-2 and a light tap to the zone on Colorado's end. Oleksiak couldn't pick up the puck.
Well, that's exactly what you want there. You want your franchise player to be able to get something done. I'm going to see this live in real time. Lehkonen touch pass. MacKinnon sauces it over. And that is a disgusting goal for the Avalanche. That started in their own end. And in a finger snap, the lead is cut in half. My goodness.
It's like one of those moments when the assist is triggered than the goal.
Yes.
I know it's not much for Bo Byron. He just fired this one short side top shelf. But McKinnon, when he sees an open lane, he gets to that open lane. And just right by under the stick of Will Borgen, he finds Bo Byron left circle. Nicely done. And now we get back underway off this face off in the center circle. This gets chipped right in. Intended for Tufty. Now Nichushkin joins the forecheck, trying to poke this away from Dumoulin. Now both teams still looking this puck. It's trapped in no man's land. Now breaks free from it. Seattle clears this down up to neutral ice. And Colorado gets the rush started. Ryan Johansen up forward. Chipped in by Nichushkin. On the rush there. Smoked away by Dumoulin. Now picked up by Beniers on this chip and chase from Dumoulin. Still in no man's land as someone's glove comes out. I believe it was one. We don't know whose glove came out, but here's Jeremy McCann behind the Colorado net. Rosmatov is poked loose now by Sam Girard, just as Girard falls down. But helping him out there is Devon Taves, who loosed the puck on a good poke by one of the Kraken. And they get sent out in front because Yamamoto save, rebound, another save by Rosmatov on Shane Wright. He stopped the Kraken twice. Now entering is Andrew Cogliano, who gets decked along the near boards by Wright. Now puck battle engaging between these sticks from Colorado and Seattle side. Poke loose. Now advancing is the Kraken. Devin Shore on a chip and Tate picked up his own dump in. Now pass across doesn't get to the intended man. Rosmatov couldn't locate this puck as it goes to Alexiak over the left point. Shane Wright getting decked by Freddie Olofsson over the near corner. Now here's the Avalanche who could not clear it down. Now pass down low to the near corner. Rob coming to the net. Penalty coming up against Colorado. So it's a delay penalty. One timer gets blocked off the stick. This might have went up to the netting. Noah stays in play. Went out the boards and as Josh Manson picks up the puck. This might be a tripping penalty on Rosmatov. We're not sure.
I'll take a look for you on that side once that opens up. But man, we can tell you one thing: the action's definitely opened up on both sides. I am getting a feel, Alec, that this feels much like the playoff series that we covered a little bit last year. This has been a lot of fun so far.
Oh yeah, looking back at the first ever playoff game at Climate Pledge Arena. Take me back. Take us back.
No doubt about it. Josh Manson, he's been going to the box, and if you can believe it, with all this action, it's the first power play of the game. So we go to break. Seattle Kraken will be on the power play.
We got one of the final score in the meantime. Dallas scores 5 unanswered on Columbus. It's been noted about Johnny Gaudreau's struggles. He was benched in the third period of one game, and in the entire third period, so was Johnny and Jonathan Huberdeau to Calgary Flames. So we look at star player struggles. But Dallas scores 5 unanswered, showing the offensive prowess that they had showed throughout last season. They're finally living up to that potential. Mason Marshman, Craig Smith, Matt Duchene, Tyler Sagan, and Jason Robertson into the empty net after Boone Jenner and Kirill Marchenko.
I will say this then, selfishly, on the weekend side, again, it's a 1 o'clock start or 2 o'clock start, I believe, for the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets. I hope that Dallas didn't make Columbus angry because, again, I mentioned earlier, it's a big weekend after this because Red Wings play Blue Jackets and then go to Sweden. They got to get the 2 points against Columbus and kind of try to right the track from where they are. After that hellacious first 12 games you had Montreal, you picked up a point today. They're probably right where they were supposed to be, but now is as good a time as any to start picking it up. And again, you mentioned it between Huberdeau and Gaudreau. Boy, oh boy. I know Gaudreau made the All-Star team last year, but think about both of the Calgary Flames and Johnny Gaudreau and the Florida Panthers and Jonathan Huberdeau. It really makes me believe that Alexander Barkov he's as good as advertised, and Jonathan Huberdeau misses him for sure.
It feels like Huberdeau may be missing that chemistry between him and Barkov. Sometimes Huberdeau will be on the second line because Barkov is as good of a first line center as he is.
Yeah, and who's going to pick up both of those contracts? I think they both have no trade clauses.
Yeah, we believe so, John. So we get back underway here. Seattle on the power play as Josh Manson's being called for tripping. Jaden Schwartz on the entry gets tied up by Artturi Lehkonen, the second year of his contract. Puck poke free. Vince Dunn just keeps it in. I mean, just keeps it in, but this is not clear by Colorado. Second keep in by Dunn was gloved down. Now Dunn holds it down. Here's Tolvanen with a quick shot that is elevated upstairs and then out of the zone. So Seattle has to regroup on the man advantage. Fired in by Tolvanen on his chip and chase. He gets it back. Now this goes behind the net at the trapezoid. Now down for Matty Beniers, who goes right back for Dunn. Back for Beniers in the left circle. Drop pass for Dunn. At the deep point, left side now. Back for Beniers. Beniers will play catch with Dunn again. Here's a long shot. He was looking for the deflection, which shows he doesn't get it. Puck battle along for the far corners. Tap right back by Yamamoto. Here's Dunn off for Beniers. Beniers shoots safe across the top. And this clear was kept in just by Vince Dunn. Tic-tac-toe. Now Vince Dunn fires away. And a screen shot. Seen all the way by Prosvetov, who hangs on.
Got to tell you, Alec, I like this power play. You keep things simple. You keep traffic in front of the net. Opportunities there for Dunn and Schwartz right out in front of it. Beniers got a heck of a wrister near the left circle. You need more of that if you're Seattle.
You need more of this. Getting players right in front of that too. And even though Jaden Schwartz doesn't get the deflection on that long shot from Vince Dunn, he takes away most of Prosvetov's vision, starts to make the save harder for him. So we get back on the way, 25 seconds left on the man advantage. Seattle control, drop pass. They'll start things up. This is Wedberg with the afterburners. Wedberg goes to the left side. Jared McCann just offside. Just a mere inch or two, 17 left on the man advantage.
So off the entry goes just off sides here. Again, we're in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Again, it was a 4-1 victory about October 17th on this side. These guys are going to play again next week, I believe, on the Tuesday side, and that is going to end the 3-game season series in the regular season. It's too bad the NHL put all these games right at the beginning of the year.
Feels like it, especially when we get back to this game. I want to get to a point discussion later on as Brian Dumoulin protects his puck away from the Avs. And Josh Manson out of the box as he played the power-up jingle from Super Mario Brothers as we get Cooper Hopkins onto this broadcast here. Sam Girard controlling this puck. Now as he gives it on for Bowen Byram. Lead pass for Josh Manson. Manson's going to fire this one around for the near to the far boards. Puck loose, picked up by Seattle. Headman pass for Shore. Shore's going to look for a lane. We'll fire around for Kartye. We'll get the light tap from one of the Avs. And this puck battle won by Colorado. They control this out to neutral ice, but no further. Oleksiak recollects in his own zone. Oleksiak headman pass deflected away by Taves. Picked up by Shore, trying to drop pass. But nothing doing there for Seattle. And now chip and chase initiates. Colorado will send this down, but Will Borgen first to it. Intercepted by McKinnon. McKinnon will go to the near side for Taves. And now here's Cale Makar. Makar down low for Taves. This puck free. This goes back for Makar. Now at the left point, McKinnon for a long shot. And that's stopped by Grubauer. Recollected now by Tomas Tatar. And McKinnon gets decked by one the Kraken. One of the few times that McKinnon gets hit like that. This is chip and chase as Prosvetov plays it out. Inadvertently turns it over, and he's back in his crease. Yanni Gourde, former Bolt. Josh Manson will just fire this down onto neutral ice. Vince Dunn will set up to the left side for Kartye. Kartye gets cut off by Mikko Rantanen. And now McCann will pick it up from behind the net. Puck loose, now kept in by Larsson. Who just plays around. Josh Manson was there behind the net. Flipped on out by Colorado, and now racing after this puck is Vince Dunn. Not enough for an icing, and it's visibly so as it was at the left circle puck being picked up. Puck is, this play's being blown dead. We're not sure what it is for. As we get a shot of Valeri Nichushkin. And so we'll take a break here.
What's going on, my friend? Long time no see.
You are
are correct, boys. It is good to hear both of your voices, and this is a rare one. We got all three of us on a call right now, and I appreciate you letting me jump on the mic. I'm so late that I figured you might have put me in the sin pit, so to speak, and kept me on mute. But we hit the commercial break here with a heck of a hockey game, and of course, leave it to me to miss the most exciting stretch of goals. Two of them, one for each side in a span of 34 seconds. That brings us to the 2-1 scoreline.
Were you able to?
After reviewing the play, it's determined no penalty on Cooper.
Yeah.
Alec, I'll take that. You are the official. I mean, I always give John a lot of respect, but we know who's really running the show here. It's Big A, Alec. He's in charge.
Yeah, no doubt. Were you able to actually get the stream today or no?
Yeah, it was, you know what, I just, leave it to me, John. You know, when we do our broadcasts, I always have one moment where technology lets me down, or maybe I let myself down, not fully in sync with what I need to be when it comes to the old Apple TV, but I just basically needed to reset the dang thing. I did that, and then all of a sudden on the ESPN app, hey, guess what? It's the Avs and the Kraken. And you know what? Just thinking about the hockey that we're watching, I was able to watch a couple minutes here to make sure the stream was working efficiently and effectively, and it is, and we got ourselves a pretty good hockey game here.
Well, you know what, Cooper, if you're in here for the rest of this, Alec will take the second. I took the first. Why don't you take the third?
Oh, well, you know, you guys are too generous.
Yeah.
I mean, I will if you want. I don't want to step on your toes. I know you've been doing the hard work, but I'd love to stick this one out with you and see how things shake out.
No, let's do that. And then I know I played the game a little bit with Alec, but let's do the Pacific Edition Panic Index, because I got to get your thoughts when we get to the second intermission.
Oh, yeah, plenty to talk about. John, I know you and I were messaging, and we were thinking about that Oilers-Sharks game. Can you imagine? It's already red alarm time in Edmonton. I think the sky will officially fall if they can't get the win against San Jose, but we can talk more about that soon.
Well, go ahead and take it away, Alec. I know you're way ahead of me on the stream side.
Oh boy, we're talking about the Pacific Division panic meter. We're going to give the Sharks a pass, as we said previously, but they're going to say too many men on Tomas Tatar. That's the penalty. So Kraken are back to the power play. It's their second one. They did not convert on the first man advantage opportunity as it's fired down. You feel a Grubauer who handled this behind his net. It's done. Way keep away. And good defense there on Colorado's part on this PK. And this will be blasted from their own zone on a howitzer shot. Nice clear for the Avs. It's Dunn will pick this up once again. First power play unit out for Seattle. In the meantime, you talk about the NBA slate. Of course, there's the Mexico City game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Orlando Magic. That is on the way over in the second quarter. Dunn at the deep point. We'll get this over to the left side for Beniers. He shoots and scores! Matty Beniers! Bennett's goal for the Kraken. That is Sea Monsters from the Pacific Northwest striking on all cylinders.
Let's go!
John Ott, you give us the commentary right now, my friend, because you just watched your boy from the land of Mason Blue make this a 3-1 game.
Man, his first goal of the season, and that was so badly needed. Good working behind the net. Picked up off the backhand near the right side boards. Seattle patient gets near the left side. I'm going to risk this thing. Top shelf, and number 10 is pumped.
He has to be pumped.
That is an absolute snipe right there. You can see the joy on the bench. Off the Schneid is one of the best players on the roster for the Kraken. And these fans here in Colorado, I can see this on the feed on my side wearing those octopus hats. I mean, I love it. There's a lot of fandom for the Kraken, and Matty Beniers just made those fans feel extra special. Makes it 3-1.
We're getting something here. Artturi Lehkonen got banged up on a check along the boards. He's struggling to get up. He's on his knees. I believe it was Jamie Oleksiak who was in the center of this. And Lehkonen is in some pain. He's getting looked at.
That was a poor camera cut on that side. He's bleeding a little bit, guys.
Oof. Yes, he is. Trainer's out there with a towel. Looks like he is bleeding from the face. I'm not sure if a stick got up here. I don't necessarily know if a penalty has been called. There seems to be calm and concern from both opponents here, both the Kraken and the Avs. Getting another replay right here. Alec, why don't you describe what you see? Looks like Lehkonen goes hard into the boards right there.
I believe it was a check from Oleksiak on Lehkonen. I feel this was a routine play that may have gone wrong. There was some blood. I believe there was no bad intention from Oleksiak on that play. Just a little, and there was some concern from both benches. That's what we're seeing. And Lehkonen is being escorted to the locker room as we speak. Just we did a replay of it as Lehkonen, he is a little shove and going head first onto the boards. Ouch.
He had no way to brace himself at all on that side.
No, and Oleksiak heading back to his bench now. It doesn't look like there's going to be any punishment. Oleksiak keeps looking to the video board. I think he's trying to see a replay for himself. Looks unsure about how the play unfolded himself. We're going to get a face-off here outside the zone. Boy, Lehkonen, not only is he cut, I think there's definitely going to be concern about a concussion here. As he was pretty stiff, looked a little shaken coming off the ice. Alec, back to you.
Yeah, he looked stiff. And the way he reacted to that is, feels like there should be. There are talks about him potentially the talk of concussions and the impact of them. Whenever someone gets chipped head first onto the boards, that's never a good sight to see. Plays whistle dead after this shot on Colorado's side. The official got a delivery. We may be getting a penalty here with 7:49 left in the middle frame, just as Brendan Dillon makes it 5-2 for the Winnipeg Jets in the meantime.
Looks like this might go against Colorado.
Yeah, John, I'm taking a look at this. No, I think it is going to be going against Seattle on a cross-check. I think this is seconds after the play against Lehkonen, and the Kraken bench looks a little nonplussed right there. I don't think they like this 2-minute minor for cross-checking against Larsson. So the interesting call, interesting timing. There was no punishment against Oleksiak, but now Larsson's going to sit for a cross-check. We were 5-on-5 until now. Man advantage for the Avs.
Yeah. Larsson physically checking so right in front of the net at the slots. And of course, you can't do that in the NHL. That's going to be called 10 times out of 10 within the referee's line sight as the Avs jumpstart their man advantage. 20 seconds have transpired. Here comes Nate the Great, as Connor McGahey of the Avalanche Radio Network would say, but this is poked away. And Jeremy McCann just fired his off a pro baton. He has to make a sliding save with the right pad to go across and prevent that. Now one-timer. Oh, another save by Baton. He stopped two short-handed shots from Seattle. Now here comes Nathan MacKinnon with blazing speed, bringing us in. Leading the rush on his own, gets decked by Oleksiak and cleared down the ice by the Kraken. Nicely done for Seattle. You not only get two shots short-handed, but to shut off the Avalanche on their man advantage, and this puck goes to Baton. Beniers was close to it, and Baton does the smart thing and hangs on.
John, more sharp play right there from Matty Beniers. He gets on his horse right there, flies into the offensive zone while on the kill, and he forces a face-off. Going to be on the Avalanche side of the ice. So number 10 looking really good tonight.
Yeah, he did. He flipped that one up in the air, and it turned out to be two shorthanded chances. Kind of makes me wonder what you're going to see in the third, because no Curtis McDermott. He's the backhand defense. He's definitely one that can bring the pain. I think the third period's going to get spicy.
Yeah, because then we see it with the third period and the physicality intensifying. We talk about Jamie Oleksiak bringing that physicality. Curtis McDermott can do the same thing in two on Colorado's side. So he's normally utilized as a seventh defenseman, as Bo Byram fans on the entry for pass. Cleared down by Seattle once again. This power play going poorly for the Avalanche in many ways. Not only getting any sort of looks, but they allowed two shorthanded shots. And there are 25 seconds to go here. Byron will feed this along for the boards down the ice for Sam Girard. Boy, there's been nothing for Colorado. Here's a potential 2-on-1 that gets poked away from Yanni for a stick. Colorado trying to get at least one look here. Grubauer places out. So this might as well run out the man advantage, which Seattle shoots it down. And boy, everything that could go wrong on this power play has went wrong. The only good news for the Avs is that they didn't allow a shorthanded goal, because they allowed two shorthanded shots. Freddie Olofsson as he passed to Logan O'Connor, who just tapped this down, and Vince Dunn in control along the boards. He'll just backhand this along for the far side. Now moving up the ice is Beniers. Will feed Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz will just chip this down to the near corner, and that gets knocked away. Now puck battle is trapped along no man's land. Poke loose as Kartye has it. Will feed Dunn right back to the deep point. Stumbles upon a midshipman Chase as Colin makes some wholesale line changes. 4:50 go in the second period. Alexiak picks this up. Beniers lead pass and nothing doing on that, but manages to get it to Bjorkstrand on the entry, be on the dump and Chase. Now here's Eeli Tolvanen. Tolvanen will just board this around along the far side to the point, but that recent pass cut off. Now here's McKinnon. McKinnon on the far side. McKinnon across Rantanen. Kick save and a beauty by Grubauer. Larsson now in control. And that was almost cut away by Rantanen. Now it is. McKinnon turns around, shoots, and scores! Nathan McCann! He has a dime! Now he has a red light! And this is a one-goal game again!
Well, John Ott, guess what? The Colorado Avalanche will not go away. They are hounding their former teammate, Philip Grubauer, even though the Kraken have played an excellent game, and Alec, as you so definitely pointed out in your call during the Avalanche power play, the Kraken were really the best team on the ice. While they made that kill, we get back to even strength, and guess who puts one in? Nathan McKinnon, one of the most talented players in the world. He shows it right there. But you know what? When you're going to leave number 29 that open in the slot, I mean, John, Alec, he didn't have anyone within 6 or 8 feet of him, and he slots that home.
Yeah, you got Cale Makar pretty much dropping right to you. It's just window dressing here for number 29.
Window dressing, you can also put some salad dressing on it, but you talk about dressing. I want some Caesar dressing on that because that's a beautiful goal. Now a long shot stopped by Grubauer. Colorado trying to get the tying goal again. The best that they've got to is within one. They made a one-goal game on that Bowen Byram goal, and once again a one-goal game on the Nathan McKinnon goal. They're looking to tie this up here, 3 apiece. Seattle in control at center ice. 3:39 to go here in the second period, as this is now controlled and bouncing on to the Colorado zone. 3:33 to go. Josh Manson give it go to the left side for Logan O'Connor, who gets away from one Kraken. Now here's Bowen Byram looking for a second. On the far side, blocker saved there by Grubauer as he grabs his stick there, and 3:20 to go. We get a stoppage here. We're going to our final commercial break of the second period, but Nathan McKinnon, very noticeable tonight. He has a dime and he has a goal.
Boys, we got a ball game here as we go to this commercial break. Bowen Byram was wide open for a chance going down the rush. We're going to see some goals tonight for sure.
Yeah, we certainly are. I mean, gentlemen, this is John, you and I talked about this. We mentioned this, and Alec, I'm sure you and John have talked about this as well. Colorado Avalanche, they still are the Colorado Avalanche. You know, there are other teams we're talking about. Look, Boston Bruins are still doing what they were doing all of last regular season. The Vancouver Canucks, which I'll tip my own cap here. I picked the Canucks to get back to the playoffs. We'll see if this early season stretch for them can continue and get them to a playoff spot several months from now. But man, oh man, Colorado just continues to be Colorado. When you have guys like Makar and McKinnon leading the way, even when Seattle's playing as well as they are, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a tight finish here.
It very much is. Of how these two teams are going neck and neck at one another. They're basically evenly matched against one another. Seattle perhaps getting the best of Colorado on their man advantage opportunities like we saw on that man advantage opportunity that Colorado had. But they didn't even get a single clear look. And Seattle got the best of them with 2 short-handed shots. We speak of hat-tricks. Well, we saw one hat-trick earlier on the night. How about Kyle Carter getting a hat-trick of his own for Winnipeg to counter Philip Tomasino's first goal of the year? 6-3 Winnipeg, and Carter on the empty net.
It's always a good shout-out for the Ann Arbor, Michigan native. Again, I'm hoping that at some point he won't be a Winnipeg Jet, but I don't think Kevin Cheveldayoff is going to make sure he goes anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, this is good stuff around the league tonight, and I know we have very little time to talk about it here, but I'm really sensing a pattern here with the Avs and the Kraken. And every time they get together for a contest, it really seems to be good hockey. I think they bring out the best in each other.
100%. Feels like we're seeing the best of these two teams, left and right, no matter where it is in the zone. Every game seems to be tightly contested between them, and really never is clear who's going to be the victor between these two teams. A lot of one-goal games between them, especially Game 4, in which Seattle had their first overtime playoff win in franchise history. So another stoppage to play as this goes out of play. On to the night, 3:14 left, so just 6 seconds between the resumption of play and the first stoppage after this TV timeout.
So I just checked again officially for the broadcast side. These two teams are going to meet again on Monday at Climate Pledge.
That's an interesting note right there, John. We'll see how this one finishes out. And, with the injury to Lehkonen, it doesn't seem that there's a lot of bad blood, but that can't be anything that the Avs are happy about. So we'll see if there are any fisticuffs or extra physicality as this thing continues into next week.
You got to imagine if they had to have a fire lit on their eyes after that Lehkonen injury as Vince Duncan shoots and a save there from Prosvetov where someone in front might have got a block. Now he's a free on to the other side. Here's McKinnon who shoots and a glove save and a beauty by Grubauer.
Oh my goodness, what a stop that was off the rush.
Yeah, maybe I should be more specific. Not only do the Avs bring out the best in the Kraken meeting their play, they certainly bring out the best big number 31. He was called into action right there. Flashes leather, makes it look like it's nothing. That's a nice save right there on number 29.
Grubauer is so familiar with Nathan McKinnon because the German-born goaltender has played in Colorado before coming over to Seattle for 5 years, coming over from the Washington Capitals, previously as the backup, then turned into the starter. Seen a lot of playoff action with the Avalanche in his 3 years there. Came over to Seattle on that lucrative deal. They need more of regular season Grubauer to be at his best and at the playoff numbers that he showed against the Colorado Avalanche as this gets iced by Seattle. But if this is the Grubauer that Seattle's going to get, they would be in good hands further down the regular season.
Yeah, while we have a quick stoppage here, either one of you gentlemen, I actually didn't have the benefit of seeing the first period. I know that Seattle went into the locker room at the first break up a goal. Has Seattle dominated most of the play in this game, or have things been pretty even? I noticed the shots are 17-17.
I'd say it's been pretty even throughout, but again, that opening goal for Jaden Schwartz up the drop pass, it was near the right dot, and it was a crossbody wrister at the left post bar down and in. That was the nastiest one of the game, most likely.
And here's a penalty coming up on the Kraken as Rantanen gets tripped as we get right back into action. So just like that, in the snap of a finger a la Thanos, we get a penalty on Seattle. It appears it's going to be on Oleksiak.
Well, let's talk about it. The tripping penalty right out in front. You get a piece of the moose there. And for everything good that Seattle has done, the way this works, gentlemen, we're getting near the end of the second stanza. This could easily be a tie game with the personnel out on the ice.
Yeah, if you want to poke a hole in the momentum balloon, penalties are the way to do that. Those are the tacks that will take the air out of your game. And Seattle's at risk right now. It's another penalty. There have been too many of these, especially in succession. So Morgan goes for 2 minutes for holding, and most of the end of this second period is going to finish, presumably, with a power play for the Avs. Here they go.
So we have a false start on the draw. So we're going to do this over, guys. We almost thought that this was going to be on Oleksiak for tripping Rantanen, and that was visible right in the slot. The fans saw that. Even we saw that. But the call was holding on Morgan. I didn't catch that, honestly.
Yeah, neither did I. I thought it was going to be a pretty clear trip, but I guess the Zebras saw something we didn't. They get paid the big bucks. They make the call, and it's time for another man advantage for Colorado.
Hey, so here's Mikko Rantanen's shot from the right circle. That gets shot wide. We're coming to 2:05 left in the second period as Makar starts up. Here's the pass over to the top of the right circle for Rantanen. He'll play catch with McKinnon. He tries a tight angle shot. It doesn't come towards the net. Now picked up along the far side. Back this goes over to the near side for Rantanen. Down low is McKinnon. McKinnon will just slowly skate this to the point for Cale Makar. Makar's long shot gets blocked right in front. Seattle with an opportunity to clear, and he do so. Now to versus McCann, who shoots, and it's fired wide to the left. This one poked free by Cale Makar, who gets it right back for Colorado. Now moving this up is by Johansen. Bouncing puck for McKinnon. Now over to the far course, and this bounce zone around to the near side for Rantanen. And a mishandle there for Makar. Rare miscue there as Beniers will go cross ice for Yanni Gourde. And even though it's an offside, some miscues here by the Avalanche on the power play. I'm not sure it's a recurring theme.
Yeah, John, I'm curious your thoughts right here because this is so interesting. The Seattle Kraken doing an excellent job on the kill, really, frankly, dominating while they were man down. And then we get back to 5-on-5. We saw what happened. McKinnon made this a one-goal game again. Sort of a little bit of a less traditional pattern here. We'll see if it continues.
Yeah, you can't give Jared McCann too many chances off the breakout either. That would have been an absolute disaster for the cerulean and maroon.
It would be if we're the former Pittsburgh Penguin, one of two former Penguins on the Kraken, just gets turned over to Beniers. Beniers, this puck gets pulled free by Girard. Good defensive play on the man advantage, but Seattle still in control in the final minute of the second period. Alec will just calmly fire this right off across the top, and now this gets picked up by Devontae's. 52 left in the second, 32 on the man advantage. Starting up this rush is Girard. We'll pass it over to Byron. 3 defensemen on this second unit, 40 hours. Not conventional, but they're just finding ways to cut it out. Here's a shot from the left circle. Grubauer takes care of business for Ross Colton.
Well, we'll tell you one thing that we see specifically on the Colorado power play, it's get traffic in front of the net and wheel and deal with Devin Taves and Cale Makar. And that could be dangerous going into the third period because Grubauer hasn't had a chance to really see a lot of these pucks.
Yeah, you know who we are seeing a lot of, though, is number 10 in white, Matty Beniers. I know we mentioned his name a number of times, not only because he's a goal scorer, he's been everywhere, really looking like one of the best players tonight.
They get the first unit back out there onto the ice. And yes, Beniers, he's been looking like one of the best players out on the ice. That's Makar. Oh, so close to the tying goal. Philip Grubauer jumped between posts from right to left and stopped what could have been a tying goal.
John On could be the same of the game right there. That is Grubauer at his finest. He's been called into action in a major way. Makar probably wonders how he didn't score right there. That's a huge stop.
You got Moose and Makar near the right side down and behind the net. He's wide open to the right circle as a Grubauer slides over like it's nothing.
Long shot that goes wide to net, and that was the last shot the man advantage as Will Borgen comes out. That was the closest that we could have seen to the tying goal. No icing here as this fired down from Borgen. Colorado taking their time a bit now. McKinnon with one last rush moving down the ice. It's not a power play. Puck is loose. Shoots! And Grubauer! A last-second save with 1 7/10 left in the middle frame. Oh, my!
Well, I think Philip Grubauer's singular goal tonight is to make me look like an idiot because I said a few seconds ago, save of the game. Guess what? He just one-upped himself right there with less than 2 seconds to go in the period.
That is as beautiful of a save as it can get for Philip Grubauer, the former Av getting more revenge on his former team. This faceoff goes absolutely nowhere between these two teams, and that will effectively run out the clock where we have a 3-2 Seattle lead after 40 minutes of play.
Well, I'll say this before we get into our intermission discussion. I'm glad that this one feels like the playoff games that we've covered in between all of us on this side because that was Nathan MacKinnon in full flight with 2 seconds left, dropped it to Nichushkin on the opposite dot, and Grubauer did it again. I mean, this could easily be a balloon scoreline, but the Kraken have a 3-2 lead after 2.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, this is the kind of play, John, especially as we get later in the season in our coverage. I bet you and Alec talk about this as well in games that you take on. Things kind of ramp up, but it is early in the season here still. We're talking 10, 11, 12 games for these franchises. And man, the Avs and Seattle, they're looking like they really want this W tonight. It's nice to see early in an NHL regular season.
So, Alec, do you have any other final thoughts before we go into the second intermission stuff? Because I know I kind of went through the panic index with you, but I do want to field some questions for Cooper here before we get into the third.
So far, it's been a very competitive game between Colorado and Seattle, like what we saw in that first round series. They're picking up right where they left off last season, where every game in the regular season was a one-goal game. And this holds up. We could be seeing a game that's decided by either 1 or 2 goals between them. They're bringing the absolute best out of each other whenever they play each other. That's what is said earlier in this broadcast.
Yeah, I agree on that side. Again, I don't want to take this whole thing over, but while I have you here, Cooper, it's been on my mind. I've talked about it a little bit with Alec. I got to go ahead and bring this to the same light. So I know we did this last year, and a 1 is no panic, and a 10 is complete panic. This time I'm going to go weather disasters, King Kong, Godzilla, all that stuff combined, right? I'm going to push the whole envelope here. So for sake of argument, we're going to go ahead and take the San Jose Sharks off the panic meter, correct? Because everybody's kind of feeling like Big Lebowski. They're just cruising like the dude.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So we can all agree on that, and we can go down the rest of the list.
Okay, so I know I said this the other day, and I kind of threw this out there for the Edmonton Oilers. And man, gentlemen, do you have to feel like Edmonton's breathing a sigh of relief that the San Jose Sharks got their first win against the Flyers? Because they play today against the San Jose Sharks at the SAP Center. But I'm going to go out and say it right now. I'm going to go full scale 10 for the Edmonton Oilers. What do you say, Cooper?
Yeah, I think, you know what, the only reason I'm going to disagree with you, John, and it's like a 5% disagreement, I'm going to put it at a 9. And I think that we hit the 10 if the San Jose Sharks prevail tonight and come away with a victory against the Oilers. Listen, I know that there's a lot going wrong in Edmonton right now, but if you lose to a team that is 1-10-1, that effectively makes you the literal worst team in the National Hockey League. And you are sporting a roster with two of the best players alive right now, and with Draisaitl and Nathan McKinnon and McDavid. I mean, John, I agree with your 10 in my heart, but I have to think in my head that if I put myself into the shoes of an Oilers fan, well, you know what? Maybe it is a 10 right now, and it goes to an 11. It goes to off the charts if they lose to the Sharks tonight.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying because Alec kind of went the same way. He was going in between a 9 side as well on that end because you have the two best players in the world, and I totally get it. But again, I'm just thinking of in the aspect of this is a team that was expected to compete for the Stanley Cup this year and build off everything they're doing. And oh, by the way, you absolutely nailed it last year. I know we talked about Jack Campbell, the 5x25. That doesn't sound too good. Well, now it sounds like he's going to be a member of the Condors because he got waived.
As we noted previously, John, about him being sent down to
I don't think that's. Yeah, no, please, Alec. I'm stepping on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we noted about.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
He might be lagging.
Go ahead. Sorry, Alec. That's my fault. Keep going.
Oh. So we know about Jack Campbell being sent down to the AHL, perhaps to find his confidence once again. Perhaps that's a goal that Edmonton wants him to go through as he is down in Bakersfield. But we're not sure if he can find that confidence because when you look at the Oilers' goaltending problems, I don't know if any goaltender is going to be put in a position to succeed. However, with the Bleacher Report put out a recent article on what they could do to solve their goaltending problems, but I'm not sure if any goaltenders in the best situation over there. It's a bad defensive team. No matter what the likes of Matthias Ekholm or Brett Kulak can do at their own defensive end. No matter the likes of what Evan Bouchard can do on the power play. No matter what the likes of Cody Ceci or Darnell Nurse have been doing as a de facto shutdown pairing can do because they haven't really played like such.
No, they have not. And apologies for stepping on your toes there. Thank you for making those excellent points. I mean, that brings up what has been talked about by us, by you two guys, John, by you and I, and then across NHL media, probably in the boardroom. And Edmonton is that the goaltending situation remains the Achilles heel. And there is no solve for this thing right now. There is no magic wand to wave to just make that okay. And it is a real problem. So much responsibility on the shoulders of Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, and then a number of other. Eugene Hopkins has been there for it feels like 2 decades, and in fact, it has almost been 2 decades. I wonder how guys like that feel right now. They must feel like they have an ability to turn this thing around, but man, oh man, it is like turning a cargo ship with an oar. They're trying to push this thing through rough waters. Man, it is getting ugly. And depending on what happens tonight, as we have a 0-0 scoreline about halfway through the first period in San Jose. Depending on what happens there, things could get really crazy. And I don't know what Edmonton's going to do if the bottom really falls out.
So I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter for timely because I want to go with the Flames after this. But 2 teams that I thought would have some panic, I guess don't have any right now. The Anaheim Ducks and the LA Kings. The LA Kings have been rolling, and Quentin Byfield looks like a top-line guy, and they picked them second over several seasons ago. He looks good. But would you agree that the Anaheim Ducks and the LA Kings, I mean, their panic level's probably at a 1?
No, yeah, certainly for the Canucks, I mean, they are one of the surprises in the best way of the NHL season so far. And the Kings, listen, quality team that I think a lot of folks thought would be around the playoff discussion. Well, guess what? The Flames have certainly fallen out of that discussion, at least for the time being. And it looks like for this season, maybe for the foreseeable future. We'll get into that in a second. But the Kings really playing to their potential and being led by their veterans. I mean, Anze Kopitar, I think it was Pete Blackburn on Twitter /X, said that he's chugging from the fountain of youth. I mean, he really is. He just seems ageless and continues to lead their team. Plus, they have the youth infusion. The Kings could be very dangerous as this season goes along.
The real surprise for me on LA's part is their goaltending, because I thought that's going to be their Achilles heel entry this season. Many people thought the same as well, but they're still the same offensive team that's been scoring goals in bunches. Not only with Anze Kopitar, but they found a gem in Quinton Byfield, second overall. You talk about Tim Stützle. Byfield has looked the part over in LA with Kopitar and Adrian Kempe. People are going to talk about what their plan is at the top line center once Kopitar retires. Perhaps that's going to be postponed just a bit because Kopitar it's been looking like the ageless wonder. Not to mention P.L. Dubois and Kevin Fiala on that second line with Alex Laferriere, the rookie, who's been measuring in nicely with LA. After a nice 8-2-2 start from Anaheim, that's the real surprise. Taking out not only the Bruins, but also the Golden Knights, two of the last undefeated teams in the NHL. The hiring of Greg Cronin has been paying off wonders in many ways more than one.
Yeah, to wrap it up, that's great, Alec. Just to wrap it up, John, in the simplest terms, the Southern California teams here down in LA and Anaheim, they're the ones leading the way in the Pacific, really, and along with Vancouver, which we'll get to. But boy, the two teams in Alberta, yikes! A lot of changes could be coming from both of those franchises.
Yeah, and I'll be on record and say I thought the Kings might miss with the P.L. Dubois side, and I'll be happy to be wrong on that side because they look good. The Vancouver Canucks with Rick Tocchet, I didn't expect it to be this good. They're 10-2-1 in the season. Just got another victory today, 21 points. Brock Besser is an absolute animal right now. He's got 11, and you got Thatcher Demko healthy. The Canucks, you said it, Cooper. I was trying to think about it last year, but this really does look like a playoff team.
I think you muted yourself, Cooper.
Oh, I did. Hey, John knows I'm good for that once the broadcast too. But yeah, absolutely, John, you're right. When I made the claim that they would get back to the playoffs, I just like you said, you took the words out of my mouth. I did not think it would be this impressive. Now we'll see if they can sustain it. Frankly, because of the way, obviously Flames first, always love the Kraken from Seattle, all those things. But I'm actually kind of excited to see what goes on with the Canucks. They've been in such a difficult position, really, for it seems like almost half a decade now. So this is new territory for them, relatively new, with a really talented, mostly young roster. And I think there are good things to come here. I'm not sure they're going to make a run all the way to the promised land in the Stanley Cup final, but they seem unfazed by any opponent, and they believe they can take anyone on and get the victory.
Well, didn't get a chance to get to this the last time I talked with Alec, but now that you're on here, Cooper, on this side, I have to do it. Calgary Flames, and I'm not trying to be a homer here, but I'm not going to go full-scale 10 panic. In fact, I started to see a couple things over the last couple wins for the Nashville Predators and the Seattle Kraken and Pospisil and Connor Zary on that side with Nazem Kadri. That line start to pick it up a little bit, and I've seen some improvement. I think they continue to roll into Ryan Huska's direction.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. I would say the panic index is probably at a 6.
Yeah.
I think 4 of those points alone are for the continued massive struggles of Jonathan Huberdeau. He just doesn't look right. He was benched for the third period recently, and it seemed to sort of emotionally affect him, which I understand. He wants to be a leader. He wants to perform on the ice. He takes his job seriously and is used to being highly, highly successful. But really, since coming over from Florida, it just has not worked for him. And, John, you've seen that time and time again. It hasn't been a disaster necessarily, but it has not been anywhere close to what people thought they were going to get, meaning the Calgary fan base, that is, and those of us who follow the Flames to any extent. So that's a big piece of the panic, and I think that there is not too much panic, close to a 10, like you said, because two options here, and we're seeing the first option in practice. Conroy and those making decisions for the Flames are starting to do what Daryl Sutter would not, and what Brad Treliving only did in bits and pieces, and that is actually give legitimate playing time to the youth talent that Calgary has, and pulling them up out of the AHL and just saying, you know what, boys, let's give you some big-time club action. And Zering has been great. Pospisil's really solid. Sharon Govich has been okay as well, who came over from the Devils. So there are bright spots. It doesn't mean that the outlook is bright necessarily, and if things continue to slide for the Flames, then we're looking at more of an official rebuild mode. But I think that even doesn't mean it's a 10 panic. I think that just means that fans have to look at a different era for the team and be patient for a few seasons. So not disastrous, definitely thin ice, so to speak, no pun intended. But we'll see how things shake out, John. I agree with you fully.
I think that's exactly where I'm going to go too and agree with on that side, and not just trying to be nice. I think I'm just trying to be accurate here on the side that there are some things. Hey, look, we'll see what happens with Noah Hanifin and a possible first-round pick. I saw something the other day about Nikita Zadorov wanting a contract extension and maybe not being in agreement on the other side for Calgary. I think that could be devastating on that side, getting a chance to watch number 16 and watch Hanifin. I like when they played some Sammy Hagar 55 when he scored a goal the other day. I didn't know they did that. You got to keep these guys on this team.
Hey, you got to keep the fans happy while there's some struggles going on. You know what? You know this. You know how I feel about Nikita Zadorov. He's one of my favorite recent Flames. I would be so disappointed if he were to leave the team. He has actively expressed interest in staying with the team on a longer-term basis. I'm excited by that. That's the kind of mentality you want from a leader on your roster. And hey, I would just miss the fact that he tries to turn himself into a forward a couple times a game. He loves to rush the net. He loves to hit. He's an exciting player, and he's not talked about a ton. But if you watch Calgary, you'll see his impact literally and figuratively. So I hope he sticks around.
That would be nice based on Calgary's part if they were to keep him on the long-term basis, because the Flames know what he brings with the physical hits and his leadership that he provides. Even though he's most nights a third-pairing defenseman, he's vital to their long-term success.
Yes.
And if I'm a Flames fan, I would be willing to sign him on would a 4-year deal be nice enough to keep Zadorov and his services around?
I think so.
I think so. John, what do you? I mean, I would say in that three potentially. If it takes 4 to get him to stay, I would say yes, because that is really the remainder of the prime of his career, and I would be all in for that.
Yeah, because you know exactly what you're going to get from him each and every night. Again, it's no frills on that, so you get a little bit of a push when you need it. You get a defensive effort, and there really isn't any mistakes. Again, as we talked about, if you're a defenseman and we don't have to mention your name very often during the broadcast, you're doing your job.
That is correct. When you're limiting those mistakes as much as possible and you're not called out as many times in the broadcast, that is when you know you're doing the right things. Speaking of the right things, Carl Grundstrom short-handed to tie it up for the Kings after Sidney Crosby scored the opening goal, the lone assist from Andrzej Kopitar. They're going to say it's not a shorthanded goal on the ESPN side, but it's a 1-1 game and the final game of the Penguins' California road trip.
And I hate to say it this way. I know it's kind of dark-sided or whatever, but I know after this game is done, I will be keeping my eyes on the Oilers and Sharks. I still see it at 0, almost getting 5 minutes from the first. And every time I see that at 0, as the time continues to dwindle down, I think the Oilers might have their hearts in their throats.
I think we are all thinking the same thing, boys. It's like, it's the classic saying. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion or something. Which one of these teams is going to be spun off the ice tonight? The longer it stays 0-0, the more likely it is it's going to be the Oilers. So I'm is excited the right word? Probably not. I'm just intrigued by the drama of these two struggling teams meeting each other tonight.
So my feed is frozen right now on the Root Sports side. So I'm glad that you're handling this, Cooper. I don't know what's going on. I just hear sound.
I think they cut back to the studio there. It looks like whatever tape they had a the concourse there, we saw a fan wearing an Alexiak jersey for about 20 seconds straight there, John. But they come back to the studio. Again, we got a 3-2 hockey game here in Colorado. Kraken taking on the Avs. And, gentlemen, very generous of you, as I said earlier. Thanks for letting me jump in on the call for the third. And Matty Beniers, again, it's worth mentioning. We're seeing this on the Chiron on the Roost Sports feed that John and I have right now. Matty Beniers gets his first of the season. And that's why we sit at 3-2. But, Alec, you pointed it out in your comments during the second period. Nathan McCann and his teammates, they are going to undoubtedly make a push to try to tie this thing up. They've been close a few times. Grubauer has kept the lead for his team.
I mean, with as many opportunities for Colorado, especially the dive and the goal that McKinnon has brought along, and that tape-to-tape pass to Colton Byron on the 2-on-1, and he pulls it up for a turnaround goal. And after that, the Avs had 2 chances. Very good looks as well, but Grubauer, he's been standing on his head throughout this game and keeping the Kraken in this. Amazing performance from McKinnon, though. In 15:43 of ice time, 290th career goal. He's close on that 300 mark, along with that assist.
Yes, indeed, and worth mentioning again during Alec's portion of the call here, Lehkonen goes down after being hit awkwardly into the boards by Alexiak. No ill intent. There certainly seemed to be no premeditation there, just an awkward play, but Lehkonen bleeding and was taken to the room, so presumably he will not be out for the remainder of the game. But we are underway here in the third period at Ball Arena. It is John Ott, the big man, Alec the Yinzer. He's with us tonight, and I got to join in a little bit late, and these boys, true professionals, let me jump in for a little bit of play-by-play. So we are 15 seconds in to this third period. Shots 19-17, Colorado leading by that edge of just 2, but where it counts, the Kraken have the lead 3-2, and they are 4-0-1 this season when leading after the second period. We'll see if they can make it 5-0-1 as they now hold the puck in their own end. Grubauer, hands on his knees, waits for his team to break out. They have it at the near boards and will send this thing along through the neutral zone. It's deflected forward by Wentberg, but it's going to go right to the big paddle of the Avs and sent along to Rantanen. And now this one up for McKinnon. He is on his horse, and he's got 3, tried to go forehand right here, didn't get a clean shot away, and that thing bounces off the near side of the net. So the Kraken will try to take this over in the near corner. Grubauer to his right, watching this play unfold, getting some fans slapping the glass as is traditional, and McCann tries to snap one from the high slot right here, and the puck bounces along. Going to be held in the trapezoid by the Avalanche right now. 18:45 to go here in the third. Good job by the Avalanche to start this period by maintaining some puck possession. But Kartye is going to try to skate this one away. He's at the red line. Boy, holding that puck on his backhand. Looked like he may have been slashed right there. But it was actually just a nice swinging poke check. That one knocked away by, I believe, Makar. And now the Avalanche will hold in their end and try to get some offense started. That one's sent along by Taves. That one's to center ice and now flipped in. That will be onside. The Avalanche goals tonight by Bowen Byram and Nathan McKinnon. Now passed across on a slapper that goes right into the webbing of the glove. Saved by number 31 again. Grubauer has looked good tonight, and we will have a face-off coming up.
I know it was about a minute ago before that, but Nathan McKinnon on a left side rush, he is so strong. He had Vince Dunn right in the face and shook him up. It was kind of a stiff arm.
It feels like he was going right up on his face with a nifty little move right on him. The wizardry that he does left and right. Unfortunately, losing control of the puck, but he has a great read. Like he had the right idea in mind. With that shoot first mentality as he had all sorts of wide ice right in front of him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it looks like Vince Dunn maybe had caught an elbow as McKinnon was passing him right there. I don't think it was a penalty, and it certainly was inadvertent. But here come the Avalanche breaking in, looking for the wraparound attempt. Could be a tripping call here as the Kraken go down behind the net, but no hand raised. A little controversial if you ask me, even with the bias. And with 17:50 to go here in the third period, things starting to pick up. A little bit of physicality both ways. Now the Avalanche will snap one off. That goes wide to the left of Grubauer's nets. And the puck will be held momentarily, but then back to neutral ice. It's taken right there by Byram of the Avalanche. He skates along, tries to forecheck right here. And avoiding a check for the Kraken is Schultz, but he goes down, drops his stick. And it looks like he is injured. Could be a potential arm injury situation right there. So, yeah, this physicality almost as predicted by the three of us, is picking up. And the puck is in the offensive zone for the Avs. Now held at the far boards. Puck bouncing at the half boards. Diving attempt right there to keep it in, but the Kraken are going to skate this one away. They now have it in the near corner. They'll send this one around, and it's being held. Right there, picked up at the half boards and dropped. Kraken continues to cycle right here, and that one pushed along. Now it's going to bounce to the blue line, back out to neutral ice. Kraken will take over again, though, as the Avalanche go for a change. Shots 22-17 for the home squad. 16:40 to go here in the third period. John Ott, Big A, and Cooper Hopkins with you in this 3-2 game. It's been an excellent one so far. Very close contest, as we have talked about throughout, as the puck bounces right behind the Colorado net. And it's chipped off the glass, but the Kraken hold it in. Going to have a scoring opportunity right here on the backhand. And there's a beautiful save made by Frostbitov. And we will have a penalty coming up. Gentlemen, I actually didn't get a clear look at this. Is it interference?
You're showing Nichushkin. I believe he's going to be the guilty party on this penalty. But we may be seeing Bowen Byram, who's boarding Justin Schultz right along. And Schultz lost his stick in the process. We're not sure but the penalty is actually on, but Cale, Makar, Lisha, but the penalty is actually on Nichushkin. He checked Oliver Bjorkstrand right in front of Prostakov's eyes. They're going to call that 10 times out of 10. Seattle's back on the man advantage.
Yes, they absolutely are, and we got a replay right there of what looks to be a potentially elbow injury for Schultz of the Kraken. That was on a hit against the glass. It looked like he avoided most of the contact, but his arm may have been trapped between him and his opponent, so we will try to get an update for you. Kraken batting .500 on their man advantages tonight. They are 1 for 2 on the power play. They win this face-off, and the puck is held in right there at the near point, now sent to the far half boards. A deflection opportunity, but a blown tire right there. Going down is Schwartz, and the puck will be sent all the way back down to big Philip Grubauer behind his net. So 20 seconds elapsed here, just under 16 minutes to go in the third period. 3-2 lead for the visiting Kraken. They're going to skate this one forward. The former Oiler, Kyler Yamamoto, skates it up. He spent some time in Seattle, boys. You might know this. He is a former Seattle Thunderbird of the Western Hockey League, as play is whistled dead. Face-off coming up.
I'm going to say, you know how I said these two teams play again on Monday? Considering all the physicality that we saw, they might want to press on the brakes a little bit next week.
I want to mention about the Oilers right now. Now you mentioned and Kyler Yamamoto at the Oilers. Whoa.
Oh, no.
Alec, are you calling? I'm going to check my score right here as action is back underway, but I'm too interested to. I can't look away. It is 1-0 Hey, lead the Edmonton Oilers. The drama builds, and so does it here at Ball Arena as the Kraken try to pull this one back and snap it past Prospetov. I don't think he saw that one, but the shot was just to his right past the post. So a missed opportunity on the man advantage right there for the Kraken. Under a minute to go now on the power play. 15-10 on the clock as the Kraken skate this one over the red line, try to chip it, and it will be held at the Avs blue line. And retreating now are the Kraken. Dunn has the puck. He will send it forward. Kraken try to skate in the offensive zone. It's held back nicely right here by Wenberg. And the puck now bouncing to the Avalanche. Look to flip this one out. They will do so successfully. The puck all the way back down to Grubauer. Plays it in front of his net. Just 20 seconds to go here as Dunn will quarterback this thing for the Kraken. 14:40 on the clock, and the puck is in the neutral zone. Dunn looking for a teammate to drop this thing. 15 seconds on the power play now. Here comes the man formerly wearing maize and blue. Now he's wearing teal and blue. Well, it's both colors of blue. But one's light, one's dark. That's Matty Beniers. 5 seconds on the power play. Puck's going to slide all the way to the the near corner in the offensive zone for the Kraken, but it is sent all the way back down. Good timing right there for the Avalanche. That last clear was during the power play, no icing. So the puck will go all the way back to the Avs goaltender. Now it's going to be picked up and sent across. Puck is loose and shot just wide. Might have been deflected. That was Schwartz on the doorstep. Could have doubled the lead for his team, but it stays 3-2. Now here come the Kraken. Nice job, little dipsy-do right there from Yamamoto. Boy, he shows his silky mitts right there, getting through the neutral zone and carrying in. The Kraken doing a good job with Larsson here at the near half boards. He tried to hold possession, but ultimately turns it over and it is sent down to Grubauer. He puts his glove up in the air. He is correct. Icing is the call. 13:42 on the clock, boys. Still 3-2 Kraken. Face off to come.
That was a good look for Jaden Schwartz as he saw all sorts of looks right in front of him as he was receiving that puck. Just need to bank this right in if Seattle was to go up by 2 on that great scoring chance. Used to it in St. Louis, now in Seattle, and I love watching Schwartz play every time. But good look there, just needs to execute that.
Yeah, that's a bit of bad luck right there. I think he was trying to go far post from a close angle, and it goes off the leg of Taves. So some inadvertent solid defense right there from a man who normally has very solid defense, and that is Taves of the Cerulean and Maroon. And speaking of which, here they come up the near boards. This one's going to be sent on from distance. That one was flicked up and over the bar by Nichushkin. And the Avs are trying to hold right here. They will do so successfully. Nice check right there by Kartye. And the Avalanche maintain possession, but Yanni Gourde doing a good job back checking his own end. But the puck bounces off his skate. Now it's loose. Diving job right there by Kartye, who John playoffs. And now he's got regular ice time with the Kraken. Boy, he showed some skill right there. Almost turned the puck over, then gets it back for his team immediately. Yanni Gourde avoids a huge check right there against the end boards. And with under 13 minutes to go here, the Avalanche are starting to pick up just a bit more momentum. Shots are still ahead for the Avs, 22-18. They have that advantage of 4 right there. And there is another blocked shot by the Kraken, who are leading in that category tonight. That's a great job right there by Oleksiak to get a leg onto that one. And that's the kind of block that can really injure a player, or at least sting. And he seems no worse for wear. He's fighting on right now, as is the rest of his team. And John and Alec, the physicality continues to ramp up here. And John, you might have to remind these boys, like you said, they're playing again real soon. Now a partial breakout right there. A nice back check, but the puck is loose in front of Grubauer. Good job by Dunn to skate back and get into that passing lane of the Avs. So a lot of back and forth action right here, but you can still kind of feel things start to tilt for the home team. And there's traffic in front. Grubauer down on his belly. Can't find the puck. It slides all the way to the neutral zone. Lots of action here, unbroken, and Bjorkstrand has the puck. He's going to pull this thing back, look for a teammate, can't find one. There was a man in the trapezoid, but I think the referee might have gotten in the way. Either way, puck now bounces out to neutral ice. The Kraken a little bit tired here, so they're going to skate off, try to go for a wholesale line change. Although one man does stay on the forecheck, that is Wenberg. So 11 and a half to go in the third. Again, it is 3-2 Kraken. That was our score going into the second break. It remains our score right now as we near the halfway point of this third period. Kraken doing a good job of picking up the puck on a turnover right here. They have the puck back behind the trapezoid. That one's sent out in front. Tight angle right there. Where's the puck? It's bouncing, and Prosvetov finds it in between his pads. Schultz can't believe it. I think he thought he had one up over the shoulder.
Well,
I can't believe that these two teams had good chances left and right, especially with McCann firing the shot at Jamie Oleksiak getting the 15th block for Seattle in this game. They've been defensive warriors all game long. I want to talk about the elevation of Kartye, Ryan Winterton onto the regular squad. I need to point out someone on Colorado got in the recent elevation. Riley Tubbs, who has been looking more and more noticeable on this second line with Ryan Johansen and Valeri Nichushkin. He had a good keep away as he was pinned along the boards, keeping the puck away from Seattle in that first period to get a full line change. But Oleksiak has been looking very, very noticeable in this game. They can talk all they want about the injury to Artturi, Lehkonen, but Oleksiak has shown that he's a warrior, not only with the hits, but also with defensive plays like that to block it off his leg.
Yeah, that was an incredible block, and as Cooper brought up during the part of his broadcast, Kartye is making a play while he's falling down, just brushing it away. Hey, both these teams are going to have to earn it here in the final 11:09 of the third.
Yeah, no, you guys both make excellent points, and John, I love what Alec just did, pointing out some of the newbies for the Avs that are making an impact. What have you thought so far just in this game? And it could be nothing. Maybe he hasn't been particularly noticeable to you, but I will be completely honest. I know the name. I'm not as familiar with the game. Have you seen anything from Winterton tonight on the Kraken that you like specifically, or has he just been out there contributing kind of in a less noticeable way?
Good physicality for the 20-year-old. He's got that board play figured out. He's been very physical. That line with Devin Short and Shane Wright's been fine. And even with Shane Wright early in this game, he had a one-timer that was denied near the right dot. So I think the fourth line's done pretty good in fits and starts.
You guys know what it's all about. You always have the good insight. Thank you both for contributing right here. And the Kraken, they lose a faceoff in the offensive zone, but then end up getting a turnover right there. And now the puck is bouncing around like it's in a pinball machine. They were looking for a cross-ice pass right there, potentially a shot at the slot, but it went all the way wide to the far side. Now the Kraken will have it again after it bounces around in the neutral zone. Just over 10:40 to go here in the third. Puck bounces around in the trapezoid on the Colorado side. Doing a good job on the forecheck right now are the Kraken. They will send this thing back to the near point. It's fluttered back down to the far corner. Now Matty Beniers has it. Looks to chip this one almost. I think he may have tried to chip that one up and over the net from behind it. That was an unsuccessful play right there. But either way, Avs going to look for a change right here. And the Kraken will take their time in their own end as they set up a breakout. That one is sent to the far half boards and now up along through the neutral zone where it's touched on. And that one was played along by Tolvanen. He was a great pickup for the Kraken last year. And now a snap save from way out. Boy, a full split glove save right there, boys. I want to get your thoughts on that one. That's Prosvetov looking like Dominic Hasek. Now, you normally think stacking the pads right there, but he goes with the splits and snags that puck out of the air.
The save might not count because Oleksiak was offside, but it's one of those amazing saves in which it can be counted as some of the greatest saves that won't count this season because Oleksiak was offside. Still remarkable that Prosvetov made the save nonetheless, and impressive full split.
Yeah, that's a great point, Alec. No, thanks for making that note. I was so excited I missed the offside call, but hey, that athleticism is right there. I mean, hey, John, you and I are used to talking about Gorgiev, but Prosvetov right there. He's obviously got some skill as well. Fortunately, it didn't really have an impact because the play had been whistled dead, but the whistle's blowing the other way now, and we are under 10 minutes to go here. So clock just now starting to become a tiny bit of a factor for the Avs who remain down by one. There's a shot from distance and a rebound in an open net. I'm not sure how it's not 4-2 right now, and another snap save. The Kraken with a massive missed opportunity, and with 9:36 on the clock, plays whistle dead. That save does count, boys.
Ooh. Prosvetov, Georgiev, you name it. Colorado, with their ability to find these goaltenders, would have come from anywhere, anytime. You can talk about Darcy Kemper, you can talk about Philip Grubauer, Alexander Georgiev. Every one of these goaltenders has been looking really good for the Avalanche. It's not because of their underrated defensive scheme. They've been making quality saves of their own as well. Full credit to them, especially Prosvetov, who's made 3 saves in that sequence. Wow.
Again, going into this, just 2 games played, 1-0-0, 0.88 goals against and a 970 save percentage. I think those numbers are pretty accurate to what we're seeing today. He's looked pretty sparkling.
Yeah, that sequence right there, John, maybe I say it a little too often. Sometimes we'll see a real clear scoring chance that goes wanting, a team missing a real clear opportunity. I mean, look, I know that puck is bouncing around at warp speed. But those boys, they're pros, and they are right on the doorstep with primarily open net. And I think the Kraken missed a chance right there to extend their lead. Then they have the fortune of getting the puck back out to the point. The offense right there. I'm just trying to say defense turns into offense. And another beautiful stop by Prosvetov. And I think that the commercial break came just at the right time, especially for the Avs. They needed to take a breather right there after the Kraken were real close to making this almost a sure win for them.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is going to end up as a 1-goal game. You get a chance to call that on the play-by-play side of it. But I'm certainly glad we all got to join for this because this might be the game of the week.
Yeah, this is some good stuff. And on our side, John, we're seeing the future report as the Root Sports feed is talking about. They're pointing out all the youth there, and I just love seeing Kartye undrafted. And you know what? If you can get your way to the NHL and even play a minute, a second, anyone undrafted making that kind of a move, you're doing something right, and you are a heck of a hockey player. He certainly is. and we are back underway here. 9:28 to go in the third period. Ryan Winterton, though, worth mentioning. That's why I brought it up with John. This is his NHL debut. He's had about 7 minutes of ice time as a shot and 10 shifts. I'm sure he'll get 1 or 2 more before this game is out. 23 shots to 18 shots. That advantage goes to the home team, the Colorado Avs. But the advantage where it matters on the scoreboard is still 3-2. That's a 1-goal lead for the visiting Kraken. Now a shot from outside. That one comes from the face-off dot to Grubauer's right. That one bounced off some legs, never got to him. That was put near net by the Avs. I believe Short fired that shot right there. And now the puck will bounce to the neutral zone, back to the Avalanche end of the ice, and into the trapezoid, picked up right there by Colorado. They skate this one forward, bounces off the skate, and now is turned over. It could be an offside call right there, and it is whistled down. That one was brought in by Yamamoto, but a teammate who was going off for a change was about a foot offside. So face-off will come up.
I was going to play this game, and I thought that Yamamoto had that chance as well. Just a little inch or two offside that teammate. But Yamamoto did have himself a good look had that teammate stayed onside and he would have joined the rush.
Yes, you are correct, and I love this. Cale Makar is, I believe, playing his 250th NHL game tonight, and he holds the record for most points by a defenseman in their first 250 games, and by a solid margin, by more than 11 points. 11 points. He is ahead of Bobby Orr for most points in a game span of that amount. So 8:15 to go, and that's just the kind of player Makar has been since he stepped onto the ice. Here comes a breakout for MacKinnon and the Avs. He sends this one sort of a shot pass by number 29. It's really in maroon. A little bit of a reverse check right there. And this one's sent back out from distance. That was out from the blue line. A snapshot right on that got to Grubauer, and it bounced off his right pad. So give another save to the big German right there as the Kraken are trying to get this one out of their own zone. They can't. MacKinnon has this one, sends it back up top, and it's into the net. MacKinnon serves the apple, and that one is slapped into the back of the net. Gentlemen, I'm looking to see who put that one in. I think that was Taser Nichushkin who was up top for the slapper to tie this contest.
I think Taze was doing an NBA Jam.
I'm not sure if there was a deflection, but we'll have to review it.
I think Devin Taze might have got the NBA Jam from downtown here as number 29 sets it up. That is a ripper. Maybe that was tipped on the right side there by Nichushkin, but no chance on earth for Grubauer. Yeah, that was tipped. What a cheeky little deflection there for Val. I mean, that was a bomb.
Yeah, big time bomb. Yeah, a big time bomb from Taze. Blazing shots. We all know what he can bring getting back to his Islanders days. This is another one of those examples, and McCann set that one up all from the left circle. Ovechkin's office normally in most occasions decides not to shoot and finds Taze. It was the right decision in the end, given the screen from Nichushkin and the tip, the cherry on top.
Yes, indeed. That was a pro move right there. Nichushkin with his second of the night assist to Taves and MacKinnon. Taves with the big slapper. That was about knee-high, and Nichushkin deflects that to the glove side. Grubauer, no chance for the Kraken goaltender. And I think it's fitting, gentlemen. We have ourselves a tie hockey game. It seemed like it should be that way, the way these two teams have been competing tonight, and now it is that way with less than 7 to go. So 6:45 on the clock officially, as this game is now knotted at 3. A big check right there in front of the Kraken bench, and closer dropped. Haymakers thrown. 2 players go down immediately. For the Avalanche, it was Bowen Byram, and for the Kraken, I believe that was Vince Dunn, and we're going to see a couple of fighting majors. Those gloves came off instantly after a huge hit.
Go ahead, Alec.
And man, there was blood in the end and some bad blood brewing between. John, we know about potential bad blood brewing in this third period. Oh, we got the bad blood between Vince Dunn and Bowen Byram. Not names that we would expect in a fight, but because of the hits, those gloves were dropped like in an instant, in the flash of an eye. Like it was just like that, and we're seeing a fistful between these two teams. There's the hit from Dunn on Andrew Cogliano, and Byram took exception to it. That was a hit towards the Kraken
I just want to say this out there because I've been on record how much I love fighting, but Bowen Byram's got concussion issues. I understand that he went out there and made the effort there, but for Joe Sakic's squad, he'd be the last guy I want to throw bombs.
Yeah, this is an interesting one right here. I mean, look, I can appreciate sticking up for a teammate. I don't know if you want to take on Dunner.
No.
Like that. He knows how to throw hands, and he certainly did right there. I think he got a couple of solid shots in. It's actually going to be offsetting roughing calls right here. So we're not, technically speaking, going to be fighting majors, but Byram is very, very displeased. Although he will now, John, I'm just seeing this on the Root Sports feed. Looks like he will get a double minor. Could be a roughing plus an instigator. He and Dunn now chirping each other from opposite boxes. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And gentlemen, you tell me if I'm being hyperbolic here. This one is now feeling like a playoff game. Yeah. It's only November.
Yes, it is. Double down.
Full mark on it. Yeah, Alec, no, I can't wait to get your thoughts here. I just want to keep the play-by-play going for the moment because the Kraken are now, even surprisingly for me, I will say, those were offsetting minors plus an additional minor to Byram through a stick in the box as face off on this now fourth power play for the Kraken goes fluttering up into the net. So just 4 seconds have elapsed on the power play. It looks like Dunn, he's pouring some water on his fist, which is cut up from throwing haymakers that landed on Byram's jaw. This game has turned into quite something. I think all three of us knew it could. The potential was there. Boy, that potential has been realized. 6.5 to go. Here comes a skate out from the Avalanche as there's a pass across to Nichushkin, and a save has to be made by the blocker. That wasn't one that gave Grubauer too many fits, but this is the Kraken now giving up shots on their power play. They've been on the other side of that, getting shorthanded opportunities while they've been on the kill. So now, a minute and a half to go in this power play. Kraken have possession. They send it back to the near point. Now it's skated up to the half boards near side. This one's going to be dropped. Taken right there by Schwartz. Schwartz holds, looks, has the puck, and is sent it over to the circle, to the right across the top. There's a slapper. That one didn't get 100%. The Kraken didn't get 100% of that one, but they do hold possession. A minute and 5 seconds to go in the power play here. 18 shots for the Kraken, 26 for the Avs. It's a 3-3 game, courtesy of a Nichushkin tip on a Taves bomb from up top. And now here's Beniers down low. He thinks about shooting, holds the puck though. Takes it to the near corner, circling, looking. Make that Tolvanen. Thought I saw 10. It's 20. That's Eli Tolvanen. Now he sends it into the high slot. Here's a slapper from distance. Down low with Schwartz. Couldn't get the blade of his stick on it. Avalanche still can't clear. Good job by theirs, Beniers. He's been noticeable tonight. He's a goal scorer tonight. And Kraken with extended zone time here. Just 30 seconds to go in the power play. They've been in the zone for about the last minute or so. Now slapper from up top. It's loose in front. Turning, firing, and a save by across the top. That one probably should have gone in as well. Could have been a game winner. 20 seconds to go as the puck is cleared down to Grubauer. 5 minutes to go on the game clock, and I think we have a stoppage here. The camera was pointed away from where the stoppage took place. So, Alec, perhaps you have a different feed here. I'm not sure why we have a whistle.
There's a penalty. I believe there's a slashing minor, as what the referees are saying. So we don't know who it, I don't know who it's on, but I believe Jaden Schwartz is in the box. Is going to cancel out the power play. I don't know where the slash is from Schwartz, but he jumped out the way of the Schultz shot initially. That was a blast from the point, and Schwartz picked it up, almost was cleaned out the trash. And the Altitude Sports Network feed is not even showing in the slashing call, so it's going to go 4-on-4.
It looks like on my side that there might have been a retaliation against Cogliano, who cross-checked him, and Schwartz gets busted.
Yeah, John, I think you're right. That's what I'm seeing. The cameras did catch that. It looks like retaliation, which, you know what, that's always going to get called. Alec, you said that about another play earlier in this contest. 10 out of 10 times you're getting a whistle there. When the referees see retaliation, yep, in this version of the NHL, 10 out of 10 times. Doesn't matter what happened to you a second ago. If they see that retaliation, you're probably sitting. And I think part of that retaliation, too, John, could have been, looks like Yamamoto may have been just mildly banged up as part of the sequence before the whistle there. So maybe his teammate trying to get a little retribution right there. But either way, not the best recipe, as it is now 4-on-4 for 12 more seconds. Then it will be a truncated power play for the home Colorado Avalanche. So 5 seconds left to go on this 4-on-4. Puck is at neutral ice. At center ice now, it's skated back. Kraken can try to hold possession here. Larsson has it. It's fluttered toward the slot where it's chased there by McCann. And now we are into a power play for Colorado. They'll set this thing up with a 3-3 game at home, 4:30 to go in the third period. Do we have OT looming, or will there be a game winner? We will find out in just minutes. This one's skated forward by Rantanen, drops for Nichushkin. Now it's carried right there by Makar. He's on his wheels, getting the wheels going, and it's cycled around. MacKinnon has it in Ovechkin's office, as Alec pointed out earlier. Now there's a pass attempt from out behind the trapezoid out in front, and it goes begging. That one bounced to the point, but the Avalanche are able to keep this one in. Less than a minute to go in their power play, less than 4 to go here in the third period. This one is loose, and I don't know how that one doesn't find the net. As Grubauer was down, the Avs were in the slot and skating that one around down and out Grubauer. They could not get a shot even on net. So credit to the defenders of the Kraken right there, as both teams will change. 35 seconds to go here in the power play. 3:35 to go in the third. Rantanen still out there for Colorado. Puck bouncing. Does he get possession back? No. It will be taken and snapped around the glass right there and all the way out. Oh, I thought it had bounced out. It didn't until just a moment ago. So here come the Kraken. It's a 2-on-3, and they will try to hold this thing down low to Prospetov's right. But Wenberg gets bounced off the puck right there. Good check by the Avalanche. And with 10 seconds to go in the power play, let's see if they try to go for one more rush. Here comes Gerard. He's going to drop this one off. Second unit on for Colorado. Again, 3-3 game here. Just seconds to go in the man advantage for Colorado. And that will expire. Back to full strength. Under 3 to go. The drama is building. And don't think that I'm not still thinking in the back of my mind about what's happening between San Jose and Edmonton. Because we got drama all over the Pacific Division tonight. As the puck is held here by the Kraken. And eventually passed along by Dumoulin. And this one's out front. It's in the slot. Beniers has it. He tries to go forehand, backhand. It gets poked away at the last second. Yanni Gourde looking to find Alexiak. That one is a stick blade. Send it up into the glass. And I believe out into a bench. So we will get a stoppage with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go in regulation. Tied at 3.
I'll just say the obvious one for the moment. I'll give Alec all the smart comments here, but 2:32 left. Again, this is a time where anybody can take a point. Are both teams going to take their point and take it easy, or who's going to make the push?
We've seen last-second goals in regulation before. If you remember about Nazem Kadri getting a last-second goal in regulation in the round-robin bubble against the St. Louis Blues when he was on the Avalanche. And now we're coming to a point where this game could be decided by literal minutes or seconds. We remember about between the Minnesota Wild and Nashville Predators, that one game. I don't know if I brought this up before, but the Predators seem to have forced overtime in the final minute of regulation. But Ryan Hartman had a say on it for the Wild with 15 seconds left. So this is where all the chaos ensues. The Avalanche have been in this situation before where Nate McKinnon's hat-trick goal in Game 5 against St. Louis in the second round 2 years ago put the Avalanche up 4-3. The Blues tied up, sent it to overtime, extended it to Game 6, where it would be Darren L with 5 seconds left scoring the game winner. And this is where all the chaos can ensue. And we speak of chaos, we see all sorts of defensive logjams, such as the last-second poke check on Seattle's part by Josh Manson.
Yeah, you know what? This is why I love working with both you guys. It's like I have a Wikipedia of hockey history in front of me right now. I mean, I hadn't thought about that game until this very moment. Alec, thank you for sharing that story with us. I remember that one, and boy, I mean, I cannot think. Every time I hear Darren Helm's name, I just think of the Detroit Red Wings. I know it puts a smile on John Ott's face as well.
It's a lot of fun to be able to work with you, gentlemen. It's the first time we got a 3-man broadcast booth. We kind of split between all the periods. Who's going to take the OT? That's what I wonder when we get to it, because I want to chomp at the bit as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, John, you've been waiting. You did the first. You thought you'd get to run it back pretty quickly, but surprise, surprise, I showed up and stepped all over you. But we have 2:15 to go here in the third. Again, 3-3 game, 26 shots to 20 in favor of the Avs. And this icing is actually going to be waved off. Nice chase down right there by the Kraken. Actually didn't get a number on who beat out that icing. It looks like it was Wenberg to, boy, he got the skates moving and kept things going for his team. Those are those plays that don't show up on the score sheet that make such a big difference. And now we are inside 2 minutes to play in regulation. This game has turned into one that all three of us agree started to feel like a playoff game. Man, we've been saying it. It's the theme of the night. These teams bring out the best in one another. It has been a great hockey game here at Ball Arena. Now it's on the stick of Nichushkin in the O-zone. Here comes McKinnon. He's in the near corner. He's pressured, but he's going to drop this one back out to the blue line. It's set up for a slapper at the top of the circle. Nichushkin diving. Could have a tripping call here. And one of the Kraken is down. Looks like a knee issue. Boy, a lot of injuries, nicks and bruises, bang-ups here throughout the night as the puck bounces across the top and over to his right where it's shot from a sharp angle. Kind of a Johnny Gaudreau-style attempt right there. Now we have 3-on-2 the other way. Here come the Avs. It's sent across with a backhand pass that bounces off the stick. 1:05 to go in the third. It's still in the offensive zone for the Avs, but a great poke check right there. Again, those plays that don't show up on the score sheet. Yamamoto gets his defense on, and there's another defensive play by the Avs right there, a diving attempt that stops a cross-ice pass. So the Kraken were denied, the Avs denied at one end, then the Kraken. Here's Yanni Gourde with the puck. 44 seconds to go, make it now 40 seconds in the third. This pass goes back up to Larsson. He's going to skate this one down. Now it's down low to Rostov's left. It's on the stick of Bjorkstrand alone in front with a chance to score. And the Kraken with 31-6 on the clock. Brings me out of my seat. It is 4-3 Seattle. But all the block shots going left and right. There was one on Vince Dunn that stung him when he got to the bench. I believe he should be relieved with all of Bjorkstrand's heroics like it's game 7 of last season. And on the other side, with Sam Jordan blocking the pass, end up being all for naught as Bjorkstrand gets the rebound, picking up the trash, cleaning it up, finding enough space to bang this one in. What a beauty from the former Blue Jackets.
Now, you talk about effort and work. You block the shot. You pay the price at 100 miles an hour. Tolvanen gets denied. Great save in the first. And then Bjorkstrand right on the doorstep. Is that going to be the game winner? This game's been insane.
Oh, my goodness. Excuse me for screaming, boys, but that was pure emotion. I could not hold it back. I was sitting here on my couch in Los Angeles, California. I jumped up into the middle of the living room. That's a heck of a goal by Deuce Oliver Bjorkstrand. 2 goals on 2 shots. Talk about making it count. He basically ran this entire play himself, and now we're getting a replay on Vince Dunn. He blocked a shot with the instep of his skate. So we see that so often. The skates just don't offer enough protection shots like that. Hopefully he doesn't have a broken bone in the foot, so that's something to keep an eye on. But man, oh man, hopefully he can shake it off. And he's getting a little extra time to do so right now because the Avs have called their timeouts. And both coaches have their teams gathered around. And Bjorkstrand has, right now, the heroic moment of the night. But 32.8, guys, is a lot of time in a hockey game.
Yeah, I guess for Vince Dunn, the legs are going to hurt. The face is going to hurt from taking some punches. But I guess the therapy is getting the full 2 points.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Alec, go ahead, because we have a face-off coming up.
Yeah, it is going to get the full 2 points if Seattle holds this up because with all the valiant defensive efforts both teams have been putting up, especially Jamie Oleksiak and Vince Dunn. If Dunn paid the price for that block, this has been well worth it. And perhaps if we talk about drama, the Oilers have tied it up on the Sharks in the meantime.
Wow, yes, indeed. That'll be something to look at before we close out our broadcast. It's an empty net for the Avs. They have possession. They won the faceoff after the goal in center ice. 16 seconds to go here. They have it at the blue line. A couple of Kraken players going down. It's on the stick of Rantanen. That one deflects. Now another Kraken is down. I think that's Tolvanen. 6 seconds to go. The Avalanche have it. Time for one more shot. There's the slapper. This one trickles to the blue line. One more shot for Makar, and we have zeros on the clock. What a defensive effort. Every single member of the Kraken diving, selling out to stop their opponents, and they get the win 4-3 in Colorado. What a game, guys.
Go ahead, Alec.
I'll have to say, I am very impressed with the Kraken gunning out this victory. Not one of those flashy wins, but it's a hard-working, gutted-out style victory. You give it your all on both ends of the ice, especially on the defensive end with all those block shots right in front of Philip Grubauer. here, and that's exactly what is done there in the last few seconds, especially Tolvanen with that clutch block, and everyone else who did their part on Seattle. Nice win for them.
I got to say this, and I'm going to say it half jokingly, but we all remember the movie Happy Gilmore. The dude with the kid with the baseball out in front, and he got smoked. That's what it felt like for all these Seattle Kraken in the final 30 seconds as you get the net pull. That was a team effort of block shots as the Kraken take a 4-3 victory. That was a fantastic regular season game.
Yeah. First of all, guys, thank you for letting me join in on the broadcast. And beyond that, thank you for letting me jump in and actually call this third period. But because, I don't think John and Alec, I hope we, all three of us, in any combination, get to do many more games this season. This one's going to be tough to top. Listen, I happen to be from Seattle, but even if I were a neutral hockey fan here just watching this game on a weeknight, that is an absolutely stunning game to watch. 4-3 the final. Again, the drama at the end, just over 30 seconds to go. Bjorkstrand starts the play, finishes the play, defensive effort, selling out, block shots, Grubauer with huge saves, Prosvetov with massive saves on the other side. This had everything that you can want in a hockey game.
They get to do this again on Monday? Are you kidding me?
I forgot. And John, you said it a bunch of times. I literally forgot. Now they get to run it back. We'll see if the Kraken can get their pound of flesh, or the Avs can, or if the Kraken double down and get the win again.
Oh, Monday. Hey, Monday will be the next game on Monday between these same two teams again. How about running it back?
I think you might have to. I think I'm going to honestly put that in there because I got to do double down on the Sharks again next week for the following weekend as well, Saturday and Sunday. So if we want to, on the Monday side, I'll put that in the schedule. I doubt we're going to get a game like this again, but from what we saw in between the playoffs from last year, and as you guys said, both teams bringing out the best in each other, I don't think I can turn away from the Monday side. I think I'm penciling it in.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go, John. It's like fantasy. When it's like fantasy football. Somebody scores 3 touchdowns in a game, you just can't not start them the next week. You got to put them in the lineup and give them a chance. So why not give the Avs and the Kraken a chance? Because they just know how to entertain and the athleticism, the skill, the effort, the teamwork. It's just I'm almost running out of words because. And again, we're not even in the double-digit days in November, and we're getting this kind of quality out of the regular season. I'm impressed. I love what we saw tonight. Of course, I love the outcome, but doing this with you two made it extra special. Really, really fun game tonight with the late winner from Oliver Bjorkstrand. Exciting stuff.
Well, I'll get a chance to close it out right here because I don't want to keep you too much longer. But if we do get any sort of situation, and you know what I'm talking about, where Edmonton and San Jose kind of goes one way or the other, expect a text from me because I won't be going to sleep for a while as I'm finishing this story.
Yeah, I think Alec and I feel the same way. We're gonna keep our eyes peeled. In fact, I might even just switch over to that game and enjoy it I'm not a fan. I don't love the Oilers, you know that. But let's just call it as an interested observer. That's what we're gonna do tonight. And we will see the fallout one way or the other, depending on how things go for Edmonton.
All right, boys. I appreciate it, guys. Between all of it, we got a first, second, and third period. That was a lot of fun. I'll be in talks with you soon, and we'll try to do this again if you guys enjoy this.
100%. Alec, thank you so much. John, as always, thank you. And, this the three-way broadcast is kind of a fun one. Maybe we can all pool our talents again and jump on some more. This was great. Thanks, guys.
See you, Alec.
See you guys. All right. Have a great night.
Well, I didn't expect it to be a 3-man broadcast, but I hope you guys enjoyed them between John on, Alec, Nava, and Cooper Hopkins. I called the first, Alec called the second, Cooper finished it off, and it was cool to see a hometown in Seattleite, Cooper Hopkins, be able to call a W here for the Kraken on this side. Hey, look, I didn't expect this game to be this ridiculous, but anyone that got a chance to listen in today, you certainly got a treat. I will see you again next week. And it honestly might be Seattle and Colorado again on the Monday side. I don't think I can get away from that considering how this game has been. I think if it's even as half as good as it was last time, we'll be in good shape. And then we'll talk probably after the Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I have Waterford Sharks here locally in the Michigan side for Saturday and Sunday the following week. So that'll be early streams again. But I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.